It is a Sun Belt Conference Saturday afternoon from Paulson Stadium in Statesboro, Georgia. The Georgia Southern Eagles welcome in the 25th-ranked James Madison Dukes on ESPN+. We thank you for joining us alongside Cole Neely and Emily Grace McWhorter. I'm Danny Wall. In their first season of FBS play for James Madison, 5-0 to start the season, 3-0 in Sun Belt Conference play, and ranked 25th in the nation. Cole, what impresses you about the Dukes the most?
Well, they haven't missed yet. They're like 2016 Drake. They just have straight hits, just no misses, all right? They're playing at a very high level. They look like a really talented football team. They deserve that top 25 ranking.
And one of the top offensive scoring teams in the Sun Belt, one of the best defensive teams in the nation. They are 3-0 in Sun Belt Conference play, facing a Georgia Southern team who had two tough conference matchups on the road against Coastal Carolina and Georgia State, trying to win their first game at home in Paulson Stadium.
Boy, they got a tough challenge ahead of them. I mean, you look at it, Danny, in past times, ranked opponents have lost in Paulson Stadium. Georgia Southern has played really good against top 25 opponents.
The last ranked opponent to come into Statesboro was BYU last season. The Cougars would win that matchup. You look at the coaches first for James Madison, Kurt Signetti. He is expected this championship mindset with this program, 5-0 start. And the Eagles' Clay Helton, as we are underway in Statesboro, 3-3 on the year, but has been impressed with the progression of his team from last year to this year. Georgia Southern will start on offense to begin, so we will see the 6-year quarterback Kyle Van Treese back out on the gridiron after a tough start against Georgia State. Threw 360 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions in that loss. The Eagles will start from their 25. From James Madison 25, rather. It'll be unique to see how the Eagles fare against this Duke's defense. First play is a screen pass to Jalen White. Has blockers on the outside. And just like that, already a first down on the first play for Georgia Southern.
That's exactly what they needed right there. Establish the tempo of the game. Control what you can control, and that's something they can control.
This will be a tough task for the Eagles' offensive line as you look at the starting lineups. First for the Eagles on offense, senior-led O-line and also the freshman Pishon Wembley at left guard. Second play, Jalen White gets 8 up in the backfield, and that's going to be the challenge. James Madison only allows 41 yards rushing, leading the nation.
And you know what, James Madison, you look at their starting lineup, they have a bunch of guys that can play football, all right? You talk about Isaac Uku. He's a really good defender. If you talk about voice of that defense, they can fly around.
With only a gain of 1 for White on that first down play. Second and 9. Hand off to White again. Squeezes through and gets to about the 43.
Saw James Madison try to get it creative right there. They brought a blitz. The guy came off the edge right there, and Georgia Southern did a great job running a little draw up the middle. Really good gain on that play.
Jalen Walker made the tackle. So 3rd and 3 for the Eagles. Amari Jones in motion. Van Treese gets it out quickly. Has Jones, and he is hit hard as the ball was knocked loose. Sam Kidd, the redshirt senior, on the stop.
That's one of those finger-licking hits right there. I mean, you wake up, you might be a little dazed, but he came in with that boomstick and said, hey, we're in the building today.
This is a strong James Madison defense overall. Only gives up 227 yards. That leads the Sun Belt Conference with one of the best defenses. So Anthony Beck back to punt for the Eagles. Back to return is Josh Surratt. And that is a hefty bounce that goes all the way in the end zone. So just like that, 4 plays in, the Eagles got nothing going outside of the first down run. And we will see for James Madison, their 6-year quarterback, Todd Centeio, who comes in after being named Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Week for his 394-yard game against Arkansas State.
Tell you what, Danny, Centeio is a special player, all right? He's done so much good, just a lot of great things so far this season. As you said, 394 yards last game against Arkansas State, 28 for 37, no interceptions that game. He's only had one pick all season.
One interception, but 15 touchdowns. And what is a balanced James Madison offense that leads the Sun Belt Conference, averaging 44 points a game. They'll start at the 20. It's a handoff to Percy Ajay Obase up the middle. Looking at the starting lineups for JMU. Keep an eye out for Ajay Obase. Also, wide receiver Chris Thornton. Who else would you want to see for the offense, Cole?
Well, I want to see everybody else getting involved. I mean, there's so many things and so many players to really look at. I really want to see their tight ends, Drew Painter and Zach Horton, deliver some blows out there and deliver a big game today.
2nd and 5. Play action around the middle. Caught. And on the outside is Chris Thornton, the man we just mentioned. He gets all the way down and pushed out at the 21. That is a big play from the second play from scrimmage for the Dukes.
Really big play right there. Saw the RPO action, delivered it right there on the money to Thornton. And next, it's a big play. He's off to the races, and that's his number one receiver. Saw the read, knew it was there. Thornton makes a nice little catch on the play, and then he's off to the races. Almost gets in there. If anything, he just slows down trying to make a guy miss.
That is a 51-yard reception. Ajay Obase on the keep. So defensively for the Eagles, they have to look out for Thornton. If you look at their starting defensive order, keep an eye out for Marquez Watson Trent, the linebacker, wearing number 0 this week, one of the most selfless players, which is why he is given the number 0 jersey, and had a great week against Georgia State with 13 tackles. After a 2-yard gain, 2nd down, Ajay Obase goes right, doesn't get far, gets to the 19-yard line.
Solid play call on that run. I think we're going to see a lot of that today, Danny. This is a team that statistically, they run the ball 61% of the time.
3rd and 6 for the Dukes. Centeo, quarterback keep up the middle. Absorbs contact, gets a 1st down, taken down at the 13. Anthony Wilson on the tackle for the Eagles. And that's the thing about Centeo being a dual-threat quarterback. You got to keep an eye on him at all times.
Well, he's like you said, he's a dual-threat quarterback, so he's a threat. They call the quarterback draw right there, and he has enough speed to where he can hurt them really, really bad on the ground game. So, again, this is a quarterback that is way better than what they've probably had in a while in terms of athleticism.
Dukes in the red zone on 1st down. And a flag.
False start. Offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty.
A false start on the right guard, Cole Potts. Scott Broadway, our referee for today's game. And Coach Ignetti mentioned how the team had to limit the pre-snap penalties. You see how crucial that is. 1st and 15. Ajay Obase doesn't get far. Was grabbed in the back by L.J. McLeod.
And that's something that this Georgia Southern defense, they have to be really good at today. They got to be able to take away the run game. Force Todd Centeo to beat you in the air. If they can do that, it might be an easier day for that defense.
It's only a gain of 1. 2nd and 14. Centeo, plenty of time, going to the end zone, and it's almost intercepted by Derek Canteen.
That's going to be a Hollywood matchup today, Danny. I tell you what, Canteen on Thornton is going to be a really good matchup. That's going to be something prime time to watch. I think it's going to be kind of like Richard Sherman versus Michael Crabtree. I'm going to give that comparison already. It's going to be a good one. Get your popcorn ready.
Derek Canteen back after missing last week against Georgia State. He is DB1 for the Eagles. 8th play of the drive for the Dukes. Centeo, another quarterback keep up the middle, has blockers, goes to the outside, touchdown Dukes. Centeo, a 17-yard touchdown run, his third rushing touchdown on the year. An 8-play, 80-yard drive for JMU, and Centeo leading the charge.
That was a really good play call. I mean, you saw the quarterback run. They were playing, looks like it was cover one, and everybody was just spread out. So really good play. And then also Centeo being able to just move around and make a play happen. As we look at the replay right here, you see Centeo, he looks at everything. He knows it's not there. All right, cool. I'm just tucking and go. He's not going to catch me. I'm going to make a guy miss. I'm from Florida. That's what I do best. And look at that. Touchdown right there. I was kind of hoping we could do a little Kodak bop in the end zone. And there it is. JMU gets the first blood.
Strikes first, a 17-yard touchdown run by Todd Centeo. Let's send it down to our sideline reporter, Emily Grace McWhorter, with EG's keys to the game.
Well, guys, we are officially to the midpoint of the college football season, believe it or not. My keys to today's game, starting with Georgia Southern, is going to slow down the run game of JMU and also stay on pace. Now, on the flip side of that, JMU has gotten a lot of extra media attention that comes with being top 25 in the nation. Being able to block out that noise will be crucial in playing well today in Paulson. For both teams, it's going to come down to winning the third down conversion battle, or as Cole, you call them, the money downs. Back to you.
Thank you, E.G. Well, you've already seen the running game for James Madison in effect to start, and really, it was those quarterback keeps from Centeo that the Eagles couldn't stop.
Well, the covers they were playing, it is spreading that defense apart, and then they're just leaving the middle open, and it's making it easier for Centeo just to bring the ball down and just make those quarterback draws work out well. So they got to figure out a way to blitz that or be able to have a guy to play a spy in that linebacker position.
Amari Jones on the return from the Eagles, so they will start from the 28. Empty backfield for Van Treese. Quick slant route to Jeremy Singleton. Taken down by Jalen Walker, the linebacker. Here's a look at our impact players. We talked about how this was going to be a tough day for the O-line, led by Logan Langmeyer and Isaac Ukwu for James Madison, nicknamed the voice of the defense.
Hey, battles are always won in the trenches, and you got to win up front. You do that, you might have a pretty good day.
2nd and 6. Play action. Van Treese has to throw it away. Out of bounds.
And so, Danny, this is a game where it's not necessarily about, really the secondary. I just think if whoever wins up front really controls the pace of the game like we talked about, and that's the reason why those two linemen are the impact players, because if JMU continues to get pressure on that Georgia Southern offensive line, it's going to be a long day for Van Treese.
And we talked to both coaches, and they both said it all starts with the O-line up front. You see the Dukes showing a blitz with Taurus Jones up the middle.
Smart move right there, just to see what's going to be coming.
3rd down, Van Treese, plenty of time in the pocket. Dumped to Jalen White, and White nowhere to go. Jordan Swan was there on the stop, and it's a 3-and-out.
And right there, that's one of the things you can't have. And you know this JMU team is really good at 3rd down stops right now. They're ranked 5th in the nation, and it shows right there. Georgia Southern has to figure something out on 3rd down. They got to be able to have those 3rd and manageables right there. And you're 3rd and long. Everyone knows it's a passing down. You got to be able to get a little bit closer to the 1st down 6 on 3rd down to make your life easier to have a 2-play route to go.
That was going to be our big matchup, the money downs, as you mentioned, Cole. Anthony Beck, another punt deep downfield for the Eagles. Retrieved at the 28. Surratt still on his feet, pushes a man off and runs out the 40. Todd Centeo leads the Dukes back on offense after the break on ESPN+.
I just couldn't be more grateful.
The last time the Eagles and the Dukes faced off against each other was almost 30 years ago to the day, October 17th, 1992. The Eagles would win the matchup 24-17. The Eagles also lead the all-time series 7-1. The Dukes would win the first matchup in Harrisonburg back in 1985. How cool is it, Cole? Now both of these teams in the FBS together, in the Sun Belt Conference together, and pretty much a rivalry, some would say, renewed.
I mean, yeah, you can say that. I mean, you look at this footage, and this was back in the old days where it just hard-nosed football, just hit somebody in the mouth and keep it pushing. So, I mean, it's great to see these two teams here on a high stage like this. It's going to be interesting to see how this game turns out.
Look at that. 371 rushing yards for Georgia Southern, just 21 passing yards. That was back when the Eagles, where their bread and butter was based on the triple option. This play resumes. Centeio has a man at the opposing 40. And once again, it's Chris Thornton for the Dukes. Or excuse me, that's Reggie Brown of a big play.
We're going to find a lot of guys to get the ball to today. Todd Centeio does a good job of spreading the ball around as we look at the replay again. So he got play action. Finds his receiver out there. Beautiful ball right there. Caught him in the coverage. Found that gap in the coverage over there. Big first down play.
20-yard pass from Centeio to Brown. Another play action, another slant route, and another catch. And this time, once again, Brown.
They're going to have to figure something else out. They got to change coverages because they're just going to keep throwing that route every single time.
A lot of the big plays for the Dukes so far have been from the middle, whether it be slant passes or quarterback keeps.
Well, they're noticing that there's a gap in that coverage. Somebody's not fulfilling their assignment maybe, and that's the reason why big plays are happening.
From the Eagles 26, Ajay Obase has one man to beat, tripped up at the 10.
Man, they're just running the ball right now. They're just having their way. They're just doing whatever they want to do on offense. JMU is looking unstoppable. And we look at their impact players. We talked about Chris Thornton. We talked about Derek Canteen. That's the matchup to watch. That's the matchup I'm talking when I'm talking about Richard Sherman versus Michael Crabtree. That's it right there.
Dukes in the red zone again. From the 11. Screen pass, Thornton. Lost it, couldn't hang on.
Boy, heard them footsteps coming. I'm telling you, you hear them footsteps coming, you kind of choke a little bit under pressure. We look at the replay right there. I mean, he knew it was coming. I mean, he had a block right there. He would have got some yards out of that, but he might have got lit up.
Quaylen Free and Canteen were right there if Thornton would make the catch. Second and 10. Handoff, this time Latrell Palmer on the carry. They have gotten a yard or two.
And that's what Georgia Southern has to do. Whenever they see JMU run the ball, they got to be able to just hold them to just a few yards. You want to force JMU to be in third and long situations. This offense thrives on third and short just because they know they can convert if they run the ball. And they've so far, you've seen that. They run the ball really well. If they can stay in third and short, they have a great chance of converting to a first down. You have them at third and long, you're only limited to one thing, and that's what? Throwing the football. So I expect to see maybe man coverage right here just to kind of help everybody out. I think Georgia Southern's DBs could compete with JMU's receivers.
Play clock at 3. Centeio on third down. Intercepted. Tyler Bride, his second career interception, and gets to the 35. That's a big turnover for the Eagles defense.
What I say, Danny, that's what you needed right there. I mean, they felt like Georgia Southern's DBs could compete with JMU's receivers, and you saw that play right there. Really good coverage. Waited kind of a little bit of a tip drill action, catches the ball, good interception, but looks like there's a little laundry on the field, so we'll see what that's about. Look at the replay right here.
So will be a flag on Georgia Southern.
They called a blindside block on that. I don't know, Dan. I don't like that. That's a penalty in today's modern game. I kind of like blindside blocks. You just catch somebody lacking. You know, sometimes you got to give them a little taste of it. You have your head on a swivel, get your nose cleaned out there.
Well, it was after the interception. It was on Anthony Wilson for the Eagles. However, the Eagles will start from the 20.
Excuse me.
Play action, screen to Caleb Hood. Great block from Amari Jones, taken down to 25.
And that might be something to help get Van Treese going a little bit early. Just kind of build up before you start taking really big, deep shots down the field. These little short routes kind of get you in that 2nd and 5. That way you have a 3rd and very short. If you want to decide to run the ball, I may not suggest it against this talented JMU defense, but that will be an option on the 3rd and short.
Singleton in motion. White the carry. Gets to the 29. Only 29 yards of offense for the Eagles in the first quarter, Cole.
But hey, I mean, it's not about how fast you can go. It's about doing things the right way. And Georgia Southern's doing that right now. I mean, they haven't had a lot of success down the field, but they're moving the ball. They haven't had a turnover.
Oh, I don't think Van Treese was ready for the snap. I don't think the O-line was ready. May have been a blown-up play. Van Treese goes down, was hit hard by Taurus Jones.
Yeah, that was not supposed to happen. I can tell you right now, Danny, that was definitely not supposed to happen. Nobody was ready. Van Treese was going through something else. The center just went ahead and snapped it. And you see he was making the block, so maybe it wasn't on the center. Maybe everybody else just wasn't ready and set to get ready to play ball. It looks like Van Treese was trying to communicate something.
Nonetheless, the Eagles 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions in the opening quarter. They lead the Sun Belt Conference with a 58% clip, but nothing going for the Eagles on offense as Beck punts it deep. Takes a high bounce at the 15. And O.J. Arnold, or rather Mark Stampley, fielding it at the 18. We'll see the Dukes back on offense again when we return. 3:50 to play in the first. The Eagles would first force a turnover, but a 3-and-out. Cole, take us through this awkward 3rd down play from Georgia Southern.
Well, so this is what's going on. It's 3rd and short. You're kind of focused on what's going to happen, and it looks like Van Treese, he kind of just bluffs the call, and he's trying to communicate, all right, we're going to go with something else. Watch this. And the center says, oh, no, I'm going to snap it. So you see he's making the block. Van Treese was completely just like, what are you doing, dude? I didn't even say anything. And then you saw that play. You can't have that. And we talk about 3rd downs being important in this game. You can see the chart right here in 3rd down defense. James Madison is 3rd in the FBS.
Incomplete pass. We're looking for Terrence Green Jr. on 1st down. Derek Canteen on the coverage for the Eagles. That was the big story, how 3rd downs was going to play a factor for Georgia Southern on offense and JMU on defense, but the Eagles 0 for 3 in 3rd down conversions. 2nd and 10 from the Dukes 18. 5-man rush. Centeo goes to the outside. Has his tight end Drew Painter, who may have enough for a 1st down.
Got the tight ends involved. Feed the big guys that can move well. But you saw in that play right there, we see the replay, Todd Centeo did a good job. Before he even stepped the ball, he saw pressure was coming from the left or the left side, and knew that his tight end was going to be wide open.
Rather 3rd and short, and Ajay Obase runs through the hole and taken down at midfield by Waylon Free. Percy Ajay Obase, his 6th carry, and it's a big one.
And again, JMU is doing whatever they want on offense. They're running the ball at will. They're throwing the ball at will. They're doing everything and anything they want to do.
No offense for the Dukes. Screen pass on the far side. Staunton, or rather Brown, with his 3rd reception.
Going with the personnel shift. Took the big guy out, number 57 for the Eagles. Believe that is
Latrell Bullard.
Yeah, and that's a guy we talked about before in the past. That's a big dude, and he's massive. He's going to be key if they want to stop this run game. He has to get active.
Palmer the carry. Doesn't get far. That time Parker Devine on the tackle for the Eagles.
And that's something that this Eagles defense, they have to do well. They got to be able to go sideline to sideline. They got to be able to make plays against this run game. You see it's 3rd and short, so it could be an RPO or it could be a run.
3rd and 2, Centeio gonna keep, goes to his right, gets another first down for the Dukes. 9th first down in the quarter for JMU.
Little read option right there, Danny. You see it right here. Actually, it looks like it was kind of screwed up a little bit. Might have been a draw, but it just so happenly worked out that that whole right side had collapsed, and it created a hole in the running lane for Toss and Taylor to get vertical. Again, that's a Florida boy right there from St. Thomas Aquinas High School, so you know they kind of got a little bit of swag, got a little speed to them.
From West Palm Beach, Florida, transferred from Colorado State. Started his career at Temple before going to Colorado State, and now with James Madison. The timeout called by the Dukes. Going to talk things over. So, Cole, while we have a moment, we mentioned the 3rd downs that were going to be a key factor. For Georgia Southern, 0 for 3, but James Madison, a perfect 4 for 4 on 3rd downs in the opening quarter.
Well, they're obviously doing something right. You know, you talk about Coach Cignetti. Coach Cignetti came from that Alabama coaching tree with Nick Saban there. So he knows exactly what it takes to win, and you got to be really good on 3rd downs. When I was a player at Furman University, our coaches preached to us, you want to be 60% on 3rd downs. Right now, JMU's 100%. As you mentioned, Georgia Southern hasn't really converted a 3rd down just yet, and they're supposed to be a top 3 team in that category. So JMU's doing everything right now.
How can the Eagles stop this drive from the Dukes? They managed to force a turnover with an interception by Tyler Bride, but the Dukes are moving again, currently at the 37.
Well, as my old coach had once said, Coach Hendricks, you got to win your one-on-ones. You win those, you have a good chance to play pretty well.
Play action, Centeio has a man on the far side in Brown. Another Dukes first down, their 10th in the first quarter.
And again, they're just moving the ball however they want to. They're doing everything right now. I mean, got guys playing a little bit off in coverage. Some guys that just don't look ready. They don't look kind of like they're in the game right now on defense. Georgia Southern, they have to wake up and get things moving.
Thornton in motion. Ajay Obase gets taken down by Anthony Wilson, and that time the Eagles were able to stop the big 6-year running back.
And that's a huge play and a huge stop right there early in this, on that kind of that drive right there. So you want to be able to get penetration. You want to make it hard for this running back to hit the holes. And right now, this JMU offensive line has been playing great. Coach Damian Roboleski, the offensive line coach for the JMU Dukes, he's coached these guys really well. I mean, this is a very talented bunch.
No gain on first down, 2nd and 10. Centeio bobbled the snap, still has time, has a man, and Terrence Green. And Green still on his feet, powers his way for another JMU first down.
And so, Danny, we talked to Coach Will Harris, the defensive coordinator for Georgia Southern, and he said one of the big things that was key for this game, they got to tackle well. That's not how you tackle right there, just throwing the shoulder. That's not going to do you any good in a game like this. You got to wrap these guys up, get them to the ground. You got to do whatever it takes, because if you're just shouldering them, they're going to find ways to bounce off. This is not high school football. You got to make tackles.
206 yards of offense for the Dukes. 1 quarter in, they lead 7-0, looking to score again. Second quarter coming up after the break on ESPN+. 7-0 James Madison as we start the second quarter on ESPN+. And look at this, Cole. I mean, the offense for JMU has been rolling, and their defense has managed to stop the Eagles in the first.
Honestly, I'm speechless right now because it looks like a total just overlap of offense. As you can see, it's 206 to 23. JMU's just taking it to Georgia Southern, and Georgia Southern's just taking it too. They're laying down. They got to figure out a way to get their defense revitalized.
From the 18, quarterback keep for Centeio. Nobody there. He's going to walk into the end zone. His second rushing touchdown on the day. And this one for 18 yards.
Danny, you can just hear that it is quiet in this stadium. I mean, it is not the start the Eagles want to have right here in the first half. And, you know, we start in the second quarter, and the first play is a touchdown. that can easily take all momentum from you going forward. And you want to see Georgia Southern find a way to bounce back, from this situation.
Even though Centeio threw his second interception of the year, he has 2 touchdowns on the ground, doubling his total entering this game, and it's 14-0 Dukes.
And this is definitely going to be one of those games where it could be really, really bad if you don't adjust. And right there is one of those plays where it looks like you're going to run kind of the sweep, and he just keeps it, and he knows that no one else is going to keep their eyes on him. And he just keeps it, and he tucks it in. And like I said, no one's going to catch him. This guy he's a fast kid. All right, we talked about he's 220-something pounds. He's a thick kid that can run the ball really well, and he can throw the ball. He's a talented football player, and he can do some great things.
Well, the Dukes remain perfect, allowing no points in the first quarter, and they do a good job finishing games off in the fourth. And look at this, leading the Sun Belt in scoring offense, scoring defense, and total defense. And the big stat, leading the nation in rushing defense. The Eagles only 5 yards rushing in the first quarter.
Well, yeah, it definitely shows that they're the best team in the country in terms of rushing defense. I mean, again, Coach Signetti, he's from that Saban coaching tree, so he knows what it takes to win football games. And you got to have a defense that can shut down the run, make a team one-dimensional.
He's instilled a championship mindset and culture to the Dukes program. Now, for Georgia Southern, how can they come alive on offense?
You better start figuring something out. You got to throw the ball a little bit better. I mean, we talked about, like, Van Treese, all right, no turnovers, all right. He's actually throwing the ball well, but they got to be able to figure out something where they can start taking some shots a little bit more in between that 10 to 15-yard range, because they got to find a way to get some chunk yardage, because if they keep up the way these things are going right now, they're going to be in for a very long game.
Van Treese back out. Throws a screen pass to Amari Jones, has a block, but Jones gets tripped up across the 25.
One of those plays that I'm not really a fan of, those little kind of wide receiver screen passes, and you got to hope for a block. Just not a huge fan of it, but got a couple yards out of that play.
Only a 1 yard gain. 4 receiver set. Joe Green, the running back, in motion. Play clock at 10. Van Treese going deep. Has a man. Jones can't hang on.
And that's that shot I was looking forward to seeing right there. And honestly, had the matchup and everything, I think the ball was really, it was in a good spot for the receiver to make a play on that. We talked about Jones. He could have made a play on that ball. I mean, look at the replay right here, right through his hands. Danny, I have a strict rule about receivers and when the ball hits their hands, and I'll talk about it in a second. Actually, I'm going to tell you right now, anytime the ball hits you in the hands, you got to catch the ball, no matter what. That's a rule.
Third down. Van Treese going deep again. Has Singleton. And that's the first third down completion for the Eagles as Singleton gets taken out to 45.
It's a big boy play right there. The ball went right through the defender's hands. Really good protection up front. We talked about this offensive line is really good. Went right through the corner's hands. Singleton makes a great play right there. Way to keep the chains rolling.
Eagles wasting no time, trying to keep the momentum. Singleton again, cuts to the middle. Tried to get inside the 15, but that's back-to-back big plays, and that woke up the Eagles' offense.
Hey, keep the ball going, get set, keep the tempo rolling. Keep giving it to the guy with the hot hand. That's Singleton. Find a way to keep the ball in his hands. He's moving. He's grinding away.
The Eagles in the red zone. Gerald Green, the handoff. He doesn't get far. Jamare Edwards on the tackle. But finally, for Georgia Southern, some positive momentum moving the ball downfield.
Well, look, Danny, push comes to shove, they're in field goal range. So they can at least come out with some points. And as long as you're able to get on the board, I think that's all that matters at the end of this drive, because this offense has struggled so far in this game, but so far 2 big plays to get them rolling.
From the 13. Van Treese throws, caught, Jones, end zone, touchdown Eagles.
Big play strike right there. And that's exactly what Georgia Southern needed to revitalize their football team.
Amari Jones, his 4th touchdown on the season, 16th in his career, and the Eagles finally on the board. Caps off a 6-play, 75-yard drive that takes just over 2 minutes off the clock, and a great response from the Eagles after Centeio ran in for his 2nd touchdown. Alex Rainer, the PAT is good. It's 14-7 off of Kyle Van Treese with his 14th touchdown pass on the year, finding the redshirt senior Jones.
You got to find a way to keep the ball in your quarterback's hands and then find a way to deliver the ball. And right now, you look at it, they're only 7 down, Danny.
(14-7) James Madison, but Georgia Southern on the board, waking up this Paulson crowd. Emily Grace McWhorter has more.
Thanks, Danny. It seemed like those 3 big explosive plays that resulted in a touchdown seemed to wake up the home side of Paulson Stadium. It is family weekend this weekend, so it is packed here, and Coach Helton continues to stress the importance of defending Paulson Stadium. It seems like the Eagles' offense is waking up, and it sounds like I hear the Braves chop going right now, too. A little biased, but I'd love a score update on that one, Danny. Back to you.
Thanks, CG. And just so you know, it's 7-3 Phillies going to the bottom of the 7th. So the Braves might be eliminated from playoff contention in about an hour.
I know she wasn't looking forward to hearing that one.
So we'll see Centeio leading the offense for JMU back out on the field. After the return from Sammy Matlinaji. You see the total yards comparison. Yes, the Eagles are starting to get things going. 98 yards, 92 of those yards are in the air, compared to JMU's 219. From the 20, Ajay Obase bouncing outside. Waylon Free gets the tackle to push him out of bounds.
Looks like it was a kind of a sweep run or a stretch run right there, and guys were able to kind of find a little bit of penetration to get to the running back again. You want to make those tackles if you're able to in the backfield, or you want to have a little loss of yardage, because that helps you out in the long run. And again, we talked about this JMU offense. They want to have those 3rd and shorts. Right now they have 2nd down and 10. Let's see, can they keep them there?
Latrell Palmer pushes up for about a yard. Nowhere to go when you have a 345-pound freshman, Latrell Bullard, making a stop in the middle.
Danny, I'm not going to lie to you. I would not want to block that massive man right there. That's like trying to move a truck. All right, he's a talented football player. He's going to cause some havoc. He's going to plug a hole.
3rd and 9. The Dukes have been perfect on 3rd downs. Centeio gobbled up and sacked. Justin Ellis and Jalen Jackson on the 3 and out.
Beautifully designed blitz right there. They knew that Ty Centeio had really no choice but throw the ball. It wasn't anything to where he could probably just tuck the ball down and run with it. They kind of did a little stunt. The backer came back over, blitzed that gap. And see Ty Centeio's going through his reads, but man, just no time to sit back there and throw the ball. Really good pressure designed by the defensive coordinator, Will Harris.
Momentum shifting the Eagles' way and a block punt. The Eagles have it in the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, how about that? How about that?
Jalen Barber. Blocked punt, and just like that, the Eagles are 1 point away from tying it up.
Talk about special teams being a crucial part of a football game. That's the perfect example right there. Special teams can make or break a team. It can make or break a game as well. And that was the perfect example of what special teams can do.
Coach Helton mentioned that special teams have been an asset rather than a liability like last season. talked about wanting to steal a possession, and they did just that. First an interception in the first quarter, then a blocked punt in the second, and the PAT from Alex Rayner ties things up at 14. What a start to the second quarter for the Eagles. More to come after the break on ESPN+. That was true freshman Joshua Thompson on the block punt and the score for the Eagles. Special teams playing a huge factor here this afternoon.
Well, hopefully that's on SportsCenter Top 10 for that young man. And you talk about freshmen and finding a way to make an impact early in their career. That's exactly what that is right there. That's teach tape. That's something the coaches are going to point to and say, look, if you want to make an impact on this football team, you better go do that.
Got knocked over by his teammates after, but that just shows how hype he is to put the Eagles back all square at 14. After a slow first quarter, it seems like the Eagles are starting to wake up. The fans in Paulson Stadium starting to wake up. And now if you're the Dukes, how do you get back on track after two mishaps?
Well, the best way to shut somebody up is put some action behind it. So you're going to have to start running the ball. You're going to have to create a big play. And that's something the Dukes are going to definitely have to do if they want to take back this momentum shift. Tell you what, Danny, like I said earlier, this is definitely the day to mess around and find out. You don't want to be on the side to find out.
10:58 to go in the second quarter. Still plenty of action go. Ball taken at the 5, and Maklinaji tripped up at a flag. We'll see who it's on.
During the return, holding, number 26 on the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So holding on the Dukes there. So they'll go back 10 yards.
Tell you what, Danny, that's something you just can't do, all right? That's just like putting raisins in potato salad at the cookout. You just don't do that, all right? You can't have that there. If you do it, it just completely ruins the cookout, all right? You just can't have that. And that's exactly what you can't do if you're GMU, because then that puts you back. It just completely holds you back from doing anything productive.
Raisins in the potato salad. I understand that reference 100% of the way. Makes you want to ask the question, who made the potato salad?
Let's not get into that.
From the 13, Centeo going deep, caught at the 23. It was Brown, but it's incomplete.
So right there, you look at the replay right here. Again, really good protection. I mean, both offensive lines are playing really good. The defensive back looks like he kind of tripped up, fell a little bit, but recovered, drove the guy out of bounds. Receiver didn't get a foot in, so that really did help. Incompletion, second down.
Great job by Najee Thompson pushing Brown out of bounds there. There could be a review.
The previous play is a further review. The ruling on the field is that the ball was the pass was incomplete.
So they're going to take another look at this. Because as we mentioned, as Brown came down with the ball, he did have possession. But I don't think he had a foot down in play.
I don't think he did either. And, you know, it's weird how it looked. I mean, it looked like he was just up in the air for a while, kind of like he was just floating there. And, again, you saw the defensive back come in, make that tackle, and drive him out. And, again, you talk about guys making plays. That's one. Najee Thompson just finding a way to not let a big play happen. And we look at this replay right here, and it looks like that maybe that left foot might have been in bounds.
You only need 1 foot. I think it's in.
Yeah, it looks like that left foot may have been in bounds right there.
So that is what the officials are looking at to see if Brown's foot was in bounds. Different angle here.
Man, it's one of those times you hate having white shoes, huh? And Pole blocked it.
Man.
Pole blocked it.
much like when the bus pulled up in front of the Georgia Dome on the explosion, the demolition.
Just things in awkward places, I guess, things you can't help. But I don't know. I mean, if it's hard evidence, of course if it's hard evidence, it's going to be hard for them to overturn that. But if it's something where they feel like it's easy to overturn, then they're going to do it.
His foot came down inbounds prior to going out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
So the call is reversed. Brown was inbounds as his foot went down.
Exactly what I was thinking, too. After seeing that replay, that left foot definitely hit the turf before he was driven out of bounds. So that's something good for JMU, all right? You got the first down. You're keeping the chains rolling. You have something like that. You can kind of get a little bit of that momentum back. Now, can Georgia Southern settle back in, get ready to play another 4 downs, and hopefully get the ball back?
From the 24. Centeo through the middle, caught by Thornton.
So right there, you see, again, another RPO really quick. So Thornton's going to be he's going to be key to these RPOs because those are going to be the quick plays where he gets a chunk yardage.
The second reception, Ajay Obase, the carry. Taken down the 40 for a first down.
You got to find a way to limit this run game. I feel like they're able to take away the run game. That's going to help against the RPO game because it kind of eliminates the run game. If you know that you can stop it, all you got to do is play in coverage. And, again, Thornton has been toasting this Georgia Southern secondary in the backfield.
Ajay Obase again. Gain of 4.
So, again, you just talk about just doing whatever you want at will. I mean, again, not a huge 3-yard gain right there by Obase, but you want to be able to limit him to less than that. You want to be able to continue to contain him and then just continue to pound him into the ground.
Rather a gain of 3. Drew Painter in motion. Centeo throws far side, one-on-one. What a catch! Flag on the play as well. Devin Ravenel.
That was a heck of a play. It's more than likely going to be pass interference, but that was just a heck of a play. Lean down on it. Heavy pass interference at that. Makes a play on the ball, brings it in, and I think he got hit not by the guy behind him and then also a guy coming across the field.
It's always dangerous for a receiver when you have that, when you have 2 defensive backs in your area.
Holding, defense number 4. Penalty is declined. First down.
Rather was going to be holding on the Eagles' Tyler Bride, and the Dukes decline.
I'm not going to lie to you, Danny. If that happened to me and, I kind of get beat and I'm out of phase, then I would have held them too. I would have held on to dear life.
So after a 34-yard pass from Centeo to Ravenel, the Dukes in Eagles territory. From the 23, Palmer leans in and gets to 19.
Man, that JMU offensive line, they just do such a great job of just finding some way to get some movement up front, and it's creating these three-yard pops that are getting on these runs, and you get enough of those, you're in a 3rd and short.
Palmer again. This time gets through. Knee went down at the 11. Dukes in the red zone.
And they're speeding up the tempo.
Trips left, screen pass, incomplete. Bride was ready along with Anthony Wilson. That time the hurry-up offense didn't work for the Dukes.
Well, not everybody's proficient at running the hurry-up offense when they need to. I mean, of course, you get a big first down. You want to be able to keep a defense on their toes, keep them on their heels, really, and that way create a big play. And in that instance, yeah, the run worked well, but again, I'm not a huge fan of these wide receiver screens. I just don't think they're plays that really do a lot of damage.
Second down from the 11. Centeo keeps, absorbs contact, and maybe gets a yard or 2.
Try to go with that quarterback draw. So you see the pattern of what JMU's doing right here, all right? We know they can cause some havoc in the RPO game. We know that's there. They can create some big plays in the run game. You've seen that. but they always find a way to tie back in that quarterback draw because that's like their process of plays. RPO, handoff, quarterback draw.
On third down, Centeo to the middle, broken up. Tyler Bride. Was looking for Terrence Green, but Tyler Bride has really stepped up after that holding call.
I mean, again, so we talked about how the run game is very crucial. One of the best run teams in the country. They run the ball at will, but at the same time, I feel like Georgia Southern's DBs are able to compete with these wide receivers, and they're able to continue to play well in coverage like this, for example. They can be in this game for the long haul. They just had to win their one-on-ones.
26-yard field goal for Camden Wise. He was 0 for 2 last week against Arkansas State, but puts the Dukes back up 17-14 with 7:33 to play in the second quarter. Eagles back on offense when we return on ESPN+. 17-14, James Madison, the Dukes in their first season of FBS, but both the Dukes and the Eagles have had plenty of success in the FCS, a combined 8 national championships between the two teams.
Really impressive. And you talk about James Madison, they were a part of the CAA before they came over to the Sun Belt, and Georgia Southern was a SoCon team, so in a way it's kind of like one of those CAA versus SoCon matchups, except they're both in the Sun Belt now.
First time these two teams have faced in 30 years, almost to the day. So now the Eagles' offense is starting to find some consistency. How can they keep it going, Cole?
Well, you want to continue to throw the ball well. You want to try to establish something in the air. You see that there was a threat already with Amari Jones, that he was able to have some big plays, get some really big yards to kind of get the chains rolling and get their offense in rhythm. So you want to have some more big plays. You want to continue to protect well. That's what this Georgia Southern offensive line has been doing. They've been picking up a lot of blitzes and pressures.
From the Dukes 25, Jalen White the handoff, and he gets taken down quickly by Sam Kidd.
And another thing I kind of want to see, Danny, something similar to what JMU does. They spread out Georgia Southern's defense a little bit to open up some running lanes for their offense. I want to see Georgia Southern kind of do that a little bit too. Spread out, these backers, create some room in the middle, then hand the ball off maybe on some inside zone runs.
2nd and 9. Van Treese toward the middle, caught. Jones has a blocker across midfield, pushed out to 46. Another deep pass and a big play for the Eagles. That's Van Treese's 9th completion.
Tell you one thing, Amari Jones is starting to really show up more in this football game as it's going along. They're finding him. They're creating plays with him. He's coming across the middle, making plays, finding the little holes in this coverage. And this is what they got to continue to do. Have big plays. Give it to the guys they're not really expecting to see get the ball.
Durham Burgess in motion for the Eagles. White up to the 41. The running game for the Eagles had been fairly non-existent. That's the 7th rush for Georgia Southern, but only 11 yards.
Well, even though the run's not really working out that well statistically, you still want to keep a defense honest. You want to continue to show that you can run the ball just as well as you can throw the ball, and that's what they want to do right here. They want to keep this defense honest to where they're not just playing in straight coverage.
White, nowhere to go. First man back there was Chris Chukwunecki for the Dukes.
And on the flip side of that, you got to be able to run the ball well. You got to be able to, find some running lanes, and outside runs may not be where Georgia Southern needs to run the ball at. I think they just need to keep it within the tackles, kind of those mid-zone runs, inside zone runs. Just keep it right there. I feel like you may have a little bit more success. This is an obvious passing down. You see the middle of the field is wide open, but the backer may drop into coverage. Looks like cover 3.
Play clock at 10. 3rd and 8. Van Treese, plenty of time. The middle again, incomplete. Was looking for Jones.
Looks like the ball was kind of thrown behind Jones right there, maybe. It's from where where we're looking at it, and I don't know about that one. Looks like they're gonna stay out there, but yeah, I don't know if I would have thrown that ball to Jones right there because it's almost kind of double coverage, and that ball could have been picked off had that safety played it. a little bit differently.
Van Treese threw it in the right spot, leading Jones. Just didn't get there quick enough.
Not enough zip. Got to work on that arm a little bit. Throw a little bit more zip, a little bit more kind of zoom to it. Should hear the wind whistle.
Anthony Beck back the punt again for the Eagles. See what the whistle is on.
What's going on?
Delay of game. Offense.
Oh, okay.
5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Would have did that too, considering one of the other times the punter punted the ball, it ended up in the back of the end zone for a touchback. So kind of help pin JMU in their own territory, hopefully within the 10 if you're a Georgia Southern fan or you're on their sideline. We'll see if that will happen here.
Josh Surratt deep to retrieve for JMU. Fair catch called. Behind the 10.
On the money.
Another great punt from Anthony Beck. 5:09 to play. The Dukes still leading 17-14. 17-14 JMU with 5:09 to play in the second quarter. This is another road matchup for the Dukes. Was at Arkansas State last weekend, and for the Dukes, head coach Curt Cignetti mentioned that they're able to block out the noise. They just go out there and play football.
That's exactly what they got to do. I mean, you saw earlier, look, this crowd is starting to come to life a little bit now. It didn't look good to start off. It's 14-0. It didn't look good, but Georgia Southern has found ways to make plays and create some turnovers to get them back right in this game.
The Dukes will have a long way to go starting from the 9, and they may go back even further. Looking like a false start.
False start. Offense. Number 44. Half the distance to the goal. Remains 1st down.
So another pre-snap penalty for the Dukes.
And Danny, as a former offensive lineman, you talk about something that will really grind the offensive line coach and the offensive coordinator's gears is those false starts. You can't have those.
So it's actually on the tight end, Zach Horton.
Oh, wow.
From the 5. Ajay Obase down about the 8 or 9 yard line there.
Good job by the Southern defense. Not a huge, well, still a 4-yard gain looks like, but you want to be able to hold these guys down, maybe a 2-yard gain. But you want to be able to hold this run game to something to where it's not explosive. As the clock ticks down, you want to be able to force them into a 3rd and long, make a play on the ball, beat these receivers in coverage.
Centeo, great protection. Pass is caught to Brown. Across the 30 and taken down to 32.
That was a dart right there. Just, again, good protection. The stunt didn't get in there in time. Throws the ball perfectly over. Looks like the linebacker's hand, and here they are. Big 1st down gain right here, and they're getting rolling a little bit now.
23-yard reception from Reggie Brown. Ajay Obase trying to break his way through the middle. So that reception from Reggie Brown, a new career record for most receptions in a game. That was the 6th catch.
Well, you know who they're going to probably be targeting more often throughout the game once you make those halftime adjustments.
We thought Chris Thornton was going to be the number 1 guy, but rather it's Brown in the first half. Ajay Obase again bounces outside across the 45. Almost got to midfield, and that is the 18th first down for JMU.
That's a lot of first downs, but again, the run game has been that's been the thing that's been killing this Georgia Southern defense. They have not been able to get their run fits together.
Play action. Centeo rolls to his right and gets tripped up by Anthony Wilson.
Good pursuit angle by the defender. And again, good rush right there by number 2 of the Georgia Southern defense. And you talk about flushing the quarterback out of the pocket and then making a play and just crashing in on them. That's exactly what you got to do. You got to be able to pursue. Once you're able to pursue and then you kind of lock that in, you're able to make plays that no one thought would be possible in that moment. But that's the key to a good defense, being able to have pursuit.
Loss of 1. That's going to be a sack for Wilson and a timeout. So James Madison using their second timeout to talk things over with 2:52 to play in the first half.
I don't know if I would have burned that timeout necessarily, to be honest with you, Danny. I mean, it's only second and long. I mean, you converted the last second and long that you had with a 23-yard pass.
We have a lot for you coming up at halftime. Our own Emily Grace McWhorter going to have an interview with Sunbelt Conference Commissioner Keith Gill. We'll also have a special story on Helinski's Hope, and we'll also talk first half stats and highlights coming up at halftime. It's great to see the Keith Gill, the conference commissioner, in attendance. He has to be incredibly pleased with how the Sunbelt has put everyone in the NCAA on notice, especially in the first half of the season.
I mean, hey, this is the type of year for the Sunbelt to really show off what they have, and we've seen flashes of teams play really well in this conference. We talk about Coastal Carolina in the past seasons. Talk about Georgia State. You talk about Georgia Southern. Now you talk about JMU and App State just playing some really good football.
Out of the timeout, Centeio, quick fire, finds Painter in the Eagles' territory and a first down.
Right there, Seth Robertson has to be better on making a play right there. He just ducked his head, trying to make a tackle. And again, you can't make tackles just ducking your head and just wishing for the best. You need to wrap these guys up, get your arms around their waist, and bring them down. In a way, you got to have a little WWE action out there.
The 16-yard reception from Painter. From the Eagles' 37, Centeio runs up the middle, breaking multiple men. Gets inside the 30, tripped up at the end by Mark Stampley for Georgia Southern.
Got to be able to make a play, make a tackle. You literally had Centeio in the palm of your hands, and you just let him go. Just look at the replay. Just guys just trying to throw in arm tackles, and they're just getting beat. I think one guy's face just got slammed into the ground right there. I mean, just beautiful stiff arm, kind of like a Heisman stiff arm almost.
Multiple men had a look at Centeio, Latrell Bullard, Reed Dedman, and it was the freshman Stampley at the end. 2nd and 2. Centeio, plenty of time in the pocket, goes in the middle, incomplete. You saw Derek Canteen on the outside jumping to try to force a pass break or get a tip ball, but it's third down.
Hey, you're right. I did see that, but I also saw Derek Canteen get body slammed into the ground, too, by the running back. So, look, if you're going to jump, you better get ready to get pushed down, too.
3rd and 2, and I think James Madison may have used their final timeout.
I guess they got a lot to talk about over there on that sideline, maybe.
We'll play a stop with 1:37.
So we talked about we thought Thorin and Canteen would be the big matchup, and we mentioned that Thorin hasn't really got the ball that much. And I don't know if we could contribute that to maybe Canteen just playing that well in coverage, or, Canteen Island. I don't know. But so far, this is looking like a really good football game, I guess, in terms of that matchup. But other than that, it's been exciting so far.
So rather a timeout, the officials had to reset the clock. 1:39 left to go in the second quarter. Eagles loading the box on 3rd and 2. Centeio gets caught by the big body Latrell Bullard.
Big man making plays. That's what I like to see from the young freshman. Hey, like we talked about earlier, that's a big guy right there, and he's able to get his feet moving, and he sees Todd Centeio move. He said, I know you from Florida, but guess what, man? I can still make a tackle on you. I don't care if you can move fast. I know they got the little sand workouts, but I can move, man. Makes a really beautiful play right there. Nice sack. And they're trying to get everybody on their feet pumped up.
The Dukes are going to go for it on 4th down, maybe. They will at least talk it over.
Well, Danny, if they go for it, well, as a former coach in this conference once said, scare money don't make money. So I kind of want to see some money be made right now. And I don't know who's going to make it. It could be James Madison or it could be Georgia Southern.
The Eagles would call a timeout. They used their first. So it's going to be 4th down and 4 from the Eagles 31. A little bit far for a 4th down play, but the Dukes so far this season 6 for 12 on 4th downs.
I mean, hey, it's like flipping a coin. You just don't know what you're going to get out of it. Could be a turnover on downs or it could be a first down. You just got to trust your offensive line. You got to trust your quarterback and just see what can happen because the run game's been looking phenomenal.
This is where the Eagles have struggled. Last week, Georgia State went 3 for 3 on 4th downs on the Eagles.
Got to bow your neck.
Centeo going deep. Incomplete. Was looking for Brown. And Chase Dial Watson on the stop.
Hey, you got to make a play in crunch time, and that's exactly what you got to do. So now you give your offense a chance to make a play, to maybe even get some points on the board. You got about a little under a minute and 30 seconds left. So what can you do right here? And you know what's going to be coming. It's a 2-minute offense that's going to be coming out there. You got to throw the ball, get your first downs, get the ball down the field, try to get a field goal, if not a touchdown.
89 seconds for the Eagles to go downfield. They have 2 timeouts left. Let's see what Kyle Van Treese can do. Throwing towards the near side, has Singleton at the 40. Walks out at the 41.
Good job by Jeremy Singleton, making the catch and then getting it right out of bounds. Save your 3 timeouts.
That play only took 4 seconds off the clock.
See pressure coming.
4-man rush. Van Treese floats one. Intercepted. Jordan Swan stops the Eagles' momentum. His first interception on the season, his 5th in the career.
That's tough right there. Just where the ball was thrown, so we're looking at the replay right now, where Van Treese made it. So Van Treese, he should have aired out a little bit more for Singleton to make a play on the ball, and Singleton kind of got out of phase of trying to make that play. He couldn't catch it. DB did a beautiful job, number 21 for James Madison. Jordan Swan, just great play by him, kind of get it in, getting the turnover when looks like Georgia Southern had that momentum.
The redshirt senior from Newark, Delaware. A big interception to give the ball back to the Dukes. From their own 28. Centeo finds Latrell Palmer. And Palmer gets across the 35. The Dukes have 1 timeout to go. Going to try and save it till they get in the red zone.
Well, that time's ticking. You got to get on the ball quick.
We'll see the Dukes hurry up offense, or 2-minute offense, rather. Centeo throws near side, and Thornton steps out of bounds after the catch.
We're going to see a lot of Georgia Southern's defenders kind of play back. They're worried about the deep balls. They're worried about those big plays, but you got to kind of be close around those first down markers because you know they're going to try to find those little short routes to get first down and then also get out of bounds.
Stops the clock at 51 seconds. Todd Centeo, 229 yards passing, 14 for 22. Does have the interception, but he's ran for 2 touchdowns. Trips right for the Dukes. Centeo has to get it quickly. Tipped. Who has it? It's the Eagles. Another interception.
Wow. Just wow, Danny. I mean, Centeo came in this game with 1 interception, has doubled that in this game right here. 2 interceptions in the first half. Georgia Southern's defense is finding ways to make plays to keep this offense, just help them out so they can score some points, tie the game up, or have a touchdown. And look at the replay. Number 96 for the Eagles, getting a hand on it, and it just plays are being made, and that's the key to being a phenomenal team. You got to make plays in crunch time.
It was tipped by L.J. McLeod and intercepted by the 6-year senior Dylan Springer. Just like that, the Eagles get the ball at the 39. Van Treese, far side, incomplete. And with a good bit of time, too, 40 seconds.
That's all you need, 40 seconds. You can do a lot in 40 seconds, Danny. I've seen a lot of great things happen in 40 seconds.
And the Eagles still have 2 timeouts.
So you can take a break in those 40 seconds, too.
Five-man rush, Van Treese. Pressure coming. It's incomplete.
Got to do a good job of sliding the protection. Guys got to be great in their kick slides. These offensive tackles have to be good at controlling the width of the pocket. You don't want to collapse the width. You don't want to shrink down and make it hard for Van Treese. Last week he had that where he did get hit through an interception. You don't want to have that again when you got 36 seconds left where you can possibly get a field goal if you're able to get some yards.
3rd and 10. Van Treese, plenty of time. Fires over Singleton, but a flag.
Looks like that's going to extend the drive.
Holding, defense number 34, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Holding by the Dukes, Chris Chukwunecki.
You see what Van Treese can do when he doesn't have pressure in his face. I mean, he may be able to find a guy open, or he may be able to know where to throw the ball and maybe trigger a penalty to happen to extend the drive.
Empty backfield, 30 seconds to go in the half. From the Dukes, 29. Quick pass to Amari Jones. And Jones gets to about the 22. And the Eagles will use a timeout.
And that was a very wisely used timeout. So in that last play we just saw right there, JMU decided to blitz. When we talked to their defensive coordinator, Brian Haynes, he said he was going to bring pressure. We were going to see blitzes in this game, and that's exactly what we just saw. Georgia Southern does a great job taking advantage of that, throws the wide receiver screen, able to get about 6 yards out of that play. And here we are, 2nd and 4 in field goal range. And if they don't find anything, they can't get in the end zone within these next 24 seconds, a field goal is still an option.
You have to believe that Georgia Southern is going to try to score through the air because their running game has been non-existent. Just 9 yards on the ground off of 8 carries. So we'll see what Van Treese can do, making his way back out in the field. 24 seconds from the Dukes, 23. They are in field goal range for Alex Rayner. Well, they want to go to the locker room with a lead rather than a tie.
Well, one thing for sure, they definitely not going to run the ball right here, not with 24 seconds left.
4 receivers set. Van Treese throwing, incomplete, short of his target in Jones.
I saw where Van Treese's eyes was at. He was looking for the guy that's been creating plays all today. He was looking for Amari Jones. The ball, it just wasn't there. They weren't in sync. Amari Jones really wasn't expecting the ball to kind of end up right there. Van Treese was just hoping that Jones would be able to see that, come back to it, get a big first down, at least stop the clock.
3rd and 4. Handoff to White and nowhere to go. Torres Jones stopping White in his footsteps.
So I said how I wouldn't run the ball here. I still would not have ran the ball here because to me it shows that you're going to settle for the field goal.
And Clay Helton calling a timeout with 4 seconds to go. So the Eagles will likely go for a field goal to try to tie this thing up, go into the locker room.
I don't know, Danny.
You mentioned, Cole, that you wouldn't run. You wouldn't have run on 3rd down. Was that the right play there, or would you have gone with pass? Because Van Treese he's had some looks, he's had some targets, but they've been incomplete.
Look, Danny, the only thing I fear in this world is God, and I would have not feared throwing the ball trying to get into the end zone. I would at least gave it one more play to see if I could get the ball into the end zone. If I couldn't, I'll live with that decision. We'll kick the field goal, so be it, but at least it'll be 4th down. I'm not going to play conservative and just try to run the ball here. I want the touchdown.
Well, Alex Rayner has a perfect 9 for 9 in field goals this season. He actually leads the Sun Belt in points by a kicker. It'll be a 39-yard try, dead center. No good. His first miss on the year. And James Madison holds off the Eagles and will lead the half 17-14. So what a first half from both sides. James Madison got the ball rolling. It took some time for the Eagles to wake up. Some big turnovers. We saw a blocked punt for a touchdown. And our own Emily Grace McWhorter is standing by with Eagles head coach Clay Helton.
Shelton, momentum shifts have been the theme of the first half, as well as your defense creating those opportunities. What do you need to see in the second half from your team to edge out JMU?
Really offensively, our third down efficiency, we haven't been very good. We've been predominantly a really good third down offense, but we're all taking turns. Defensively, I think we've done a wonderful job of getting some turnovers. Huge special teams play for the touchdown, which has got us in a one-score game right now. Needed to make that field goal to go in tied, but really it's about our third down efficiency on offense.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, EG. We'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, EG will be back with Sun Belt Commissioner Keith Gill. 17-14 JMU at the half on ESPN+. Second half officially underway. An onside kick from Georgia Southern. Right out of the gate. Did not go far. Some trickery from the Eagles coming in to start the second half. I mean, thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. Danny Wall, Cole Neely, and Emily Grace McWhorter. Well, Cole, you're already seeing Georgia Southern with a couple of tricks here to try to trip up the Dukes.
Well, you're trying to upset a top-ranked team. You might as well do it, right? Go ahead and try it. Onside kick it. You never know. Hey, talk about special teams. You want to steal possessions. That's an example of that. You want to steal a possession.
5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
And it seems like there's going to be a re-kick. However, the Dukes offense and the Eagles defense are out on the field. Alex Rayner on the onside kick. Did not go the full 10 yards, but also the Eagles were offsides.
Kicking team. The ball was recovered by the kicking team before it went 10 yards. It'll be the kicking team's ball of 10 yards, 5-yard penalty after recovery. First down.
Okay, so rather a re-kick is going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Eagles for being offsides, and that just put the Dukes in great field position to start the second half.
I mean, I applaud the attempt to try to steal possession, but, I mean, now you're kind of down bad already. JMU's somewhat already they're on your side of the field, so if they find a way to put some points on the board, you're already starting down. Worse than how you start the game.
Palmer on first down, up the middle, breaking a couple of tackles inside the 15. And just like that, one play in, the Dukes are in the red zone.
Starting not to like that idea of that onside kick, and look how bad it's hurting them. Now, holes are opening up. They're moving Georgia Southern's defensive line around, and they're finding gaps to hit the hole.
Palmer inside the 10.
And I hope in one of the adjustments that Georgia Southern should have made coming out the gate, they should have found a way to limit these runs, these inside runs, mid-zone runs. They got to find ways to take that away from this James Madison offense because they're going to rely on those. Again, this is an offense that likes to run the ball 61% of the time and throw the ball 39%.
2nd and 5 from the 10. Centeio keeps. Going outside, touchdown Dukes. Centeio, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the day.
Not the way Georgia Southern wants to start the game off, but credit to James Madison taking what they gave you. They tried to get you down a little bit early, tried to get the onside kick and kind of surprise you. They screwed that up. You find a way. You have 2 big runs, and then your quarterback decides to just keep the ball down and then finds a way into the end zone. And now you're staring at a 10-point lead if this extra point goes in.
The Eagles tried something different to start the second half of an onside kick. It did not work out. And the Dukes taking advantage of that. Finishing off with Centeio with a 10-yard touchdown run. It is 24-14 Dukes. Let's see how the Eagles try to answer back when we return on ESPN+. Clay Helton has mentioned that special teams has been more of an asset this year compared to last year. We saw with the blocked punt that turned into a touchdown for the Eagles. But Cole, the onside kick to start the second half kind of backfired that time.
Yeah, not much of an asset right there, Danny. I mean, you want to not get too greedy when things are going your way. And I think Coach Helton felt like, special teams going our way so far. We had that big block punt that we scored a touchdown on. Let's keep trying our luck. That was the moment where he should not have tried his luck.
It took 3 plays, 36 yards, and just 1 minute for the Dukes to score after that onside kick, capped off with a 10-yard touchdown run from Todd Centeio, his 3rd on the day. And Coach Signetti not going to complain about that mishap. And the Dukes took advantage of that on offense. Already 400 yards of offense throughout the 3rd quarter. And the big story, the running game non-existent for the Eagles. They usually average 170 yards, but just 10. From the 25. Play action. Van Treese going deep. Has Jones still on his feet. It's a foot race and a touchdown for the Eagles. 75 yards downfield, Van Treese to Jones.
Talk about when you get punched in the mouth, you punch him back. That's exactly what this is. I mean, look, Georgia Southern got punched in the mouth early with that touchdown to start off the second half. And here comes Kyle Van Treese punching James Madison back in the mouth right there with that 75-yard bomb down the field. Now, we're in for a ball game right here. Offenses are just firing on all cylinders.
What a response from the Eagles. We're only a minute and 12 in the 3rd quarter, and we've seen touchdowns on both sides, and it's back to a 3-point game.
I don't think you could ask for anything better. So we look at the highlights of what's just been going on right here, and it's just been an incredible football game in terms of offense, kind of late after that 1st quarter. And then you just, what a beautiful play right here. Nice bomb. You see number 5 for the Eagles, Amari Jones. He's been having a heck of a game so far today. Came back, fought for the ball. Looks like on that post route. And then just makes some guys, just outruns some guys, just outspeeds them, and then scores a touchdown. That's exactly what Georgia Southern needed to get that momentum going. I'm wondering if JMU can now fight back, get that momentum right back, and keep this into a kind of a fiery ball game.
It only took 12 seconds for the Eagles to respond. 2 touchdown passes from Kyle Van Treese, 2 touchdown receptions from the 5th-year senior Amari Jones.
Got the crowd alive now.
Retrieved at the 3, Maglinaji tripped up before the 30, and a flag.
During the return, personal foul, hands to the face, kicking team number 49. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Javian Boykin with hands to the face. Gonna move the Dukes up 15 yards.
Like self-inflicting wounds right here. You got to be careful. I understand you're trying to make a play and it's on the feel of that kickoff, but you got to be careful. You see the hands to the face right there. You just can't do that. You got to be better than that. You got to watch where those hands are at. Again, I understand in the heat of the moment, it's hard not to do that.
So now the Dukes will start at the 43. Another great start for the Dukes offense. At least good field position. Centeo on first down, throws to the middle, caught. Ravenel for first down completion. Already the Dukes in Eagles territory again. Hand off to Palmer. Still on his feet. Gets inside the 25.
Eagles got to be careful. They see a lot of these arm tackles. Guys are just trying to reach out and try to make a tackle. It's not going to work on these backs. JMU has a bunch of backs that are strong and explosive. They can run through these arm tackles. You talk about Coach Signetti. He came from that Alabama coaching tree. He knows how to find caliber football players, and you can see that so far in this game.
That was a 16-yard gain for Palmer on his 8th carry. Number 25. Centeo didn't see Derek Canteen coming.
The man continues to find ways to make plays. Derek Canteen came in on the blitz. Centeo didn't even see him coming. Didn't even look that way and just comes off the edge hot on him like a missile. Heat-seeking. Got him, sack. Back the Dukes up a little bit. Let's see, can Georgia Southern continue to hold here?
A loss of 7 on the sack from Canteen, his first on the year. You see there, just a 3rd sack allowed by the Dukes O-line. Centeo goes far side. Zach Horton gets across the 20, inside the 20 rather, for a moderate gain.
It's a good job by the Dukes right there, picking up a lot of yards right there, getting really close to that first down marker. And now this is a little bit of a very third and manageable right here. They could just keep the ball on the ground. They've ran the ball really well and very effectively. It's 3rd and 4. Their backs are really good at getting at least 4 yards.
Horton in motion. Play action. Horton gets it. Canteen was there alongside Anthony Wilson. A big stop from the Eagles defense. Will the Dukes go for it on 4th down, Cole?
I think if I put a lot of trust in my run game right here. The run game's been killing this Eagles defense all game. I'd actually trust my running backs. I trust one of them to go and get the first down for me.
The Dukes did not convert on 4th down last time. Play clock at 10.
Looks like Coach Signetti feels good about it. He's going to call timeout.
The clock was winding down. The Dukes going to talk things over. And now you're starting to see what is called the power of Paulson come alive here for the Eagles.
I know Coach Signetti's going to want to talk about this and definitely think it over. As you mentioned, Danny, they didn't get the last 4th down they tried to go for. And so now they're trying to figure this out, and we're going to see exactly what they decide when we come back.
Back on ESPN Plus, it is 4th down and 3 at the Georgia Southern 18 for James Madison. The Dukes called a timeout to talk things over, and if you're head coach Curt Signetti, Cole, what do you do here?
You know what? They're going to put the hogs out right here, so I'm assuming they're going to go for it. You know what? I'm not mad at the call. I mean, you got to have trust, and you got to have a little bit of faith in this offensive line. Again, they've been playing stellar all game. They've been opening up holes. Why not? Go inside zone right here. Georgia Southern may be expecting it, but they've been blocking it so well it doesn't even matter.
Centeo on 4th down. Goes to the end zone. Incomplete. The Dukes 0 for 2 on 4th down conversion today. Another turnover on downs.
You know what? I'll give Coach Signetti his flowers for not being scared to take a chance. But, again, I think I would have just trusted my run game. I really would have trusted them because they've been doing so well, and they've been having a lot of big gains in the run game so far throughout the ball game.
You mentioned Canteen Island. Well, he was big on this drive for the Eagles. Waylon Free and Tyler Bride there on the coverage, but it was that sack by Canteen that really opened things up for the defense. So the Eagles will take over from their own 18. Amari Jones has been the number one target. 5 receptions, 124 yards, and 2 scores. Handoff, Jalen Green. He gets 8 up. Nowhere to go. And that's just another showing of how great this Duke's defense is.
I think what they got to do better on offense for Georgia Southern, you got to be able to see. They showed that they were going to blitz. You got to be able to see that. And the coaches, they should have made the adjustment to be able to check out of certain plays that they know pressure is coming. That would have been the perfect play that throws over their linebackers' heads.
Jamry Chroma on the tackle for loss. It's a loss of 4. 5-man rush. Van Treese almost intercepted. Jalen Walker got hands on the football, couldn't bring it down.
I don't really know what Van Treese saw right there. I saw the DB kind of just sitting there. He was waiting for the ball to come there. He saw the safety start to come in and make a play as well. So I don't know exactly why he threw that there. I didn't think that was the right read. And some of those throws, he's had that all season where I've kind of been curious to why he's throwing it right there when I would have thrown it somewhere else.
Third and 14. Van Treese through the middle, caught. Caleb Hood absorbing contact and taken down at the 44. That's the second third down completion for the Eagles.
And that's good. We haven't really heard much of Caleb Hood so far in this game. He's been real quiet, but there is a big play right there. Caleb Hood announces his residency now in the second half. He's getting something. They're getting active. They're getting guys who are known to be making plays for this team. They're getting them rolling. They're getting them more involved. You want to continue to see that for Georgia Southern's offense.
From the 43, Burgess in motion. Van Treese gets it out quickly off the hands of White. Great job from the Duke's defense continuing to put pressure on Van Treese.
They're dialing it up. And you know what, Danny? One of the keys to the game for me was you want to turn the Ginger General into a prisoner of war, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to lock him down. They're caging him in. They don't want to give him a chance to start kind of going off, having those 358-yard passing games. They don't want him to have that. They want to force those turnovers.
Jones in motion. Instead, Hood will get the pass. And Caleb Hood had 2 receptions in the first half, 2 in the second half. That'll bring up third down.
So right here, you got to find that gap in the coverage. I'm expecting at least a crossing route to kind of help these receivers get going, free them up, make it an easy throw for Van Treese.
Third and 7 under 9 minutes to go in the third. Duke's in the house. Incomplete. Chuck Wienecke knew he had it. Had a chance as Van Treese overthrew Jones, and the Eagles will punt again.
Timing was just completely off right there. You saw he was, again, you mentioned he's going to Jones. The timing was just totally off. He wasn't even looking for the ball, and that was dangerous. That could have been an interception. That definitely would have put Georgia Southern in the bad spot. but that would definitely help JMU out in terms of trying to score some points.
Anthony Beck has put up some great punts for the Eagles. Surratt will retrieve at the 11. He will get tripped up at the 13. Nowhere to go.
They're calling that man the Cheese Man, or just call him Cheese. Interesting nickname.
That is an interesting nickname. Had the Ginger General, now we have Cheese. And apparently the name came from when his older brother would beat him in video games, and he would cry a lot, and his dad would say, "Would you want some cheese with that wine?"
That's the perfect dad joke right there. That is the perfect dad joke.
From the 14 for the Dukes. Palmer. First man there for the Eagles is Jalen Jackson on a short gain. We're seeing more Latrell Palmer in this second half. We have yet to see Percy Ajay Obase. Second and 8. Palmer again, and gets taken from behind. Tackle for loss by Trayvon Locke.
Looks like they're trying to run that stretch run outside zone, and just everybody's getting pushed back. There's penetration, and that's what kills stretches. And whenever you have penetration on the stretch, that's what makes that play into a negative gain right here. And you see that. Big Latrell making a play out there, making a tackle. And there you go.
Was Latrell Bullard. Third and 13. Centeo throwing, incomplete. We're looking for Terrence Green. And a 3 and out. Great job by the Eagles defense.
Eagles defense, they ran cover one right there. They felt pretty good about what they had, their DBs against their wide receivers. And obviously you see Georgia Southern's DBs won that matchup. They won that down, and that's all you got to do sometimes. You got to keep winning downs.
Well, the Eagles win that series. The last time the Dukes were this deep, the Eagles blocked the punt and scored.
Looks like they're going for the punt block.
Can special teams convert again? Play clock at 3. Gets it off in time. Almost another block. Retrieved by Amari Jones at the 49. Gets across midfield. And good field position for the Eagles. Can the Ginger General, Kyle Van Treese, put the Eagles ahead? Find out when we return on ESPN+. Eagles quarterback Kyle Van Treese has been the reason Georgia Southern has been in this game. He has 244 yards of the Eagles' 250 total yards of offense.
Well, so far, he's doing a way better job than he did last week against Georgia State. Had 4 picks. I'll give him 2. They're probably his, but so far only 1 interception in this game. He's playing pretty clean football right now, and we'll see if he can continue to keep that up for them to put some points up on this drive.
He will start from the James Madison 44. Jet sweep. Amari Jones has blockers to the 30. Down the sideline and pushed out. Tackled by Josh Surratt. Amari Jones has been explosive in this half.
When you have a team, you originally start off as a triple option team, and then you move on to a spread. You have a lot of guys that have speed that can get around the edge and make some big plays, and that is one of them right there. Amari Jones, he's just having a day.
Credit to Bo Johnson there on the end, getting that second block that gave Jones space and got all the way
to the goal line for 12. Automatic first down.
And a flag on Surratt as well. A horse collar going to put the Eagles half the distance to the goal line.
We've seen some penalties in this game that have hurt both sides, and that is a penalty that hurts JMU a little bit. They're already in striking range.
From the 5. Oh, what a hit. Jalen White nowhere to go. Sam Kidd, are you kidding me?
Look, how Sam Kidd hit Jalen White a little bit hard in that helmet when it came off.
O.J. Arnold on his first carry, nowhere to go there.
Well, had that hit been a little bit hard in that helmet when it came off, I would have got Jadeveon Clowney flashbacks.
My goodness.
Just ate him up right there.
A loss of 2. Van Treese on second down, screen pass, Derwin Burgess. Pushed out at the 2. May have gotten to the 1 there.
And here they go. They're getting dangerous right now. They have a chance to take the lead. I'm curious to what they'll go. Personally, I wish they were an under center team at some point. I go quarterback draw if they were a tad bit closer, but I might just try to can't hand it off. They actually don't hand it off.
Third down from the 3. Van Treese end zone, broken up. Chauncey Logan on the deflection. And the Eagles are going to bring out the field goal unit to tie it up.
So pretty good. You got to take your points. Take your points. If you're trying to come back in the game, you got to take your points.
So Alex Rayner, who missed the field goal to potentially tie it up to end the first half. That was his first miss of the year. This one is 20-yard chip shot. And we are tied at 24 with 5:39 to play in the third. Commissioner Keith Gill said he wanted to see some great football, and we got a great one on our hands, partner.
We sure do. I mean, it's been an exciting football game from start to finish. We thought JMU was going to walk all over Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern had some moments. They start striking back. They start throwing punches, some haymakers. They got back in the game, and it's been a dogfight ever since.
I don't know about you. I mean, these are the top 2 scoring offenses in the Sun Belt Conference. The only difference is James Madison has the best defense in the conference, only allowing 15 points a game. But the Eagles have been challenging the Dukes. It took some time. The first quarter was all James Madison, and even the start of the second quarter. But really what turned things around was the first touchdown pass from Van Treese to Jones, then the blocked punt that turned into a touchdown for the Eagles.
I mean, it's just a matter of not laying down when you have a Goliath that comes in that's been playing well all season. I mean, the new kids on the block, they've just been playing at a high level, and Georgia Southern's just not laying down. They're going to give them a good fight here in Paulson Stadium, and that's what you can ask for when you want to see good football. You want to see 2 good teams go at it head-to-head.
The Eagles knew it was going to be a dogfight. McLenagy gets across the 30 and pushed out. What do you want to see from James Madison here on offense? It seems like they haven't done much as of late. It's been all Todd Centeio for the most part.
Well, I mean, they've been doing everything right. They've controlled the ball for almost 25 minutes now, getting close to that. That's what they're really good at, time of possession. They're a top 10 team in that category. They average holding the ball for 34 minutes a game. So I want to continue to see them run the ball well, just continue to run the ball efficiently, get chunky yardages. Someone in that 4-minute mode, I understand it's only in the third quarter, getting close towards the end of it, but still, get in that 4-minute mode, drain that clock down, do what you know what to do, and do it at a high level.
The Dukes will take it from their own 33. Centeio, play action. Oh, what a deflection by Springer. That is a 6-year veteran leading the way up front for the Eagles defense.
And you're telling me, Danny, that this Georgia Southern defense, they're not feeling the moment right now. They are completely feeling it. They know what's at stake. They can have an upset right here. Upset a top 25 team. They're starting to make more plays. Defensive linemen getting their hands up.
Around it out was the redshirt sophomore Trayvon Locke, but still, the D-line doing a great job making some big plays. Handoff, here's a Jay Obase for the first carry in the second half. 14th overall on the day.
Getting down in that third and short territory. We talked about JMU as a really good team running the ball. That was a big play that got a lot of chunky yardage. 7-yard gain. It's third and short. They could run the ball here. You can see our RPO action. We haven't seen the RPO really so far in the second half.
5 minutes left in the third. Centeo throwing deep, near side, has a man, incomplete. There's the one-on-one matchup. Derek Canteen on Chris Thornton, and another 3-and-out by the Eagles D.
If you didn't have your popcorn ready, you better have it now. That's the matchup that we're going to see, especially as this game continues to go down to the wire. I mean, it's just been a really good football game in terms of having the key matchups. Derek Canteen versus Chris Thornton. And then, again, kind of out of phase right there, comes back in, makes a play on the ball, gets it out, incompletion. Now JMU has to punt.
I mean, it's really neck and neck at this point. It's all about who's going to have that momentum going into the fourth. Amari Jones will call a fair catch at about the 15. This Georgia Southern broadcast is brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. By Morris Bank, it pays to bank blue. And by Wild Wing Cafe, hot wings, cold beer, good times. We're having a good time in Paulson Stadium, family weekend. The Eagles back home after 2 tough road losses against Coastal Carolina and Georgia State. From their own 14, Van Treese has Amari Jones. And you said it a couple times, Cole, mama, there goes that man again, Jones. Didn't get much on that catch, but he's been the primary target for Van Treese.
I mean, already over 100 yards receiving so far in this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if he touches 200 the way it's going. He's just been the hot guy to throw it to.
This time Singleton across the 25, and we'll get enough for an Eagles first down.
You can literally feel the momentum shift kind of happening slowly but surely throughout this game. Georgia Southern's moving the ball efficiently right now.
Hurry up offense. Jalen White wrapped up and taken down by Jamry Chroma. Only got a yard in that carry. The run game, as we said, just non-existent for the Eagles.
Yeah, but, I think that at some point they're hoping they can catch JMU slipping.
Singleton. Good move, but I think he stepped out of bounds. The official will call the play dead. And I think he is short of a first down. He is.
Saw that foot step backwards. But, again, they're moving the ball very efficiently right now. I wouldn't run the ball here, but still, they maybe a little read option, kind of fool the defense.
Third down. A run. White. Got it.
Hey, we talk about you don't have to be great at running the ball every single time, but when it matters, you just want to be good at that. That was good enough to get the first down.
It was 3rd and 1, and White got 4 yards. Van Treese scrambling around, going deep, just through the hands of Burgess.
I give Van Treese credit. Pressure was really in his face. Guys were kind of getting free late. Nice little step up, tried to deliver that on that play action. And, again, my thing about receivers, if the ball is catchable, and it was very catchable in my opinion from what it looked like, you got to come down with the ball no matter what. Even if it grazes your thumbs, you got to bring it down.
It seemed like as Burgess was about to clasp his hands, the ball just flew through. He's made some incredible catches this season, but hasn't been targeted much here this afternoon. To the middle, deflected. Van Treese was looking for Caleb Hood.
I don't know if Van Treese was really looking for Caleb Hood right there, because that was not a smart place to throw the ball at. I understand it was low. He was just probably just trying to get an incompletion there, but I still would have not thrown that ball into Caleb Hood right there. I mean, you kind of throw it in double coverage, basically.
Taurus Jones breaking things up. 3rd and 10. Heavy rush through the middle. Hood. Inside the 40, taken down to 35. The Eagles now 4 of 11 on 3rd downs.
Eagles offense is starting to get more and more dangerous as this quarter is going on. They're finding leaks in this coverage. They're finding the holes. They're finding the gaps. They're starting to attack a lot better in the air right here. Van Treese has been playing clean so far, and we'll see if that continues to keep up.
21-yard catch from Caleb Hood. Van Treese rolling towards his right, has Jalen White down the sideline, and he's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Eagles. Third touchdown pass for Van Treese, and the Eagles have their first lead of the night.
And you talk about a momentum shift right there. JMU leading this whole game. Yes, we've had the game tie up at different times, but now Georgia Southern takes the lead the first time in this whole game. Here we are, late in the third quarter. Georgia Southern has a chance so far. I understand we have another quarter left, but they have a chance to upseat the number 25 team in America. You can hear those overrated chants happening throughout the stadium. It's a little early to say that.
There's still plenty of time left to play. 1:59 left in the third, but Georgia Southern, their first lead of the night, leading 31-24. Van Treese, a 37-yard screen pass out to Jalen White.
I mean, this guy's just getting away, making plays happen. And saw tackles. We got one missed tackle right there. I understand he probably would have made that with that angle. 2 missed tackles, 3 missed tackles. When you have missed tackles like that, guys are just diving at legs. When you have powerful runners, you're not going to be able to bring those guys down. So you want to see JMU start to close the distance.
Where was the biggest shift for Georgia Southern? Because it seemed like, the second half, the third quarter started, it was pretty back and forth. It was the onside kick that failed for the Eagles, and then the Dukes would capitalize and score. But since then, 17 unanswered points for the Eagles in the third.
I think honestly, Danny, I think it started when they had that fourth down stop. I think that's when it really started to kind of kick in a little bit more, because when you stop a team on fourth down when they should have probably maybe kick the field goal instead of going for it, I still would have said run the ball. But when you stop them right there in your own territory and you make it out of that, I think that's when you start really getting that momentum shift.
That kick towards the end of the end zone, and the Dukes will take it to the 25. I mean, look at how the passing for Georgia Southern has taken over against the Dukes. Allowed the fewest passing yards in the Sun Belt, but 362 yards from Kyle Van Treese today.
I'll tell you what, Kyle Van Treese, he is a true gamer. I mean, yes, you can look at the turnovers he's had in previous weeks, but he's also a reason why they have been in every single one of those games despite the turnover ratio he's had. He's a really good football player. He just has to fix those little mistakes and not have those turnovers.
Centeo, plenty of time, dumps it out to Ajay Obase. Oh, what a tackle by Canteen. You mentioned you need a little WWE action. Well, how about that move?
I'm telling you, I think somebody might be hearing us on the field, because we're getting everything we're asking for right now. And they're making plays. You want to see the corners be a little bit more physical. You want to see the safety start flying to the ball. These are some big backs that JMU has. You want to see them make tackles and be more physical.
Well, those numbers right there show how much Canteen was missed last week against Georgia State. Centeo caught. Ravenel, ball is out. Recovered by the Eagles. Tyler Bride. Already an interception, now a fumble recovery. How about the defense creating turnovers?
I'll tell you what, Georgia Southern has came alive. I can feel the energy in Paulson Stadium. Defense is making plays. They're doing things right. Yes, the run game they were killing them in the run game. But Georgia Southern is finding ways to make plays on defense. They're getting turnovers. That's what they're doing well. So you look at the replay right here. Pocket was great. Beautiful throw. Nobody was right there. And then you just got to secure the ball. Danny, one thing that was always preached to me as a player, ball security is job security. If you want to keep your job, you got to hold on to the ball.
Reed Dedman forced the fumble, and Tyler Bride scoops it up. Defensive coordinator Will Harris said he wanted to see his team create at least 3 turnovers a game. Well, the Eagles forcing 3 turnovers tonight. Van Treese wasting no time. Derwin Burgess breaks out of a tackle, still on his feet, trying to fight his way through, will get taken down at the 25.
It's just honestly it's been amazing watching Georgia Southern kind of claw back their way in this game. I mean, again, it looked really bad in the first half, kind of in that first quarter, and they just been coming alive, making plays. I mean, guys are finding some holes in this coverage. Crossing routes are getting open, and they're just having the time.
Inside the final minute of the third quarter. Van Treese, end zone, too far. Was looking for Burgess again.
Van Treese has to be careful with throwing some of these passes because that didn't look like the right pass to throw. Again, I don't think that was the read he should have been looking at. I'm pretty sure there might have been something else. Honestly, at some point, I like to see Van Treese. If it's not there, just tuck the ball down. If there's room, a gap for you to try to squirt free and try to get some extra yards.
From the JMU 25. Van Treese flips it out to White. Tried to maneuver his way through, nowhere to go. Jarius Rumenick on the tackle.
So Georgia Southern not really in a bad spot here. I mean, again, you're already in plus territory. You're in JMU's territory, deep in there. You're in solid territory to at least get a field goal if you don't do anything on third down.
Seems like the Eagles are going to let the clock run out. And that's going to take us to the fourth quarter. Both teams throwing up them foes as we go to the fourth. The Eagles leading 31-24. Defense prevailing through for the Eagles. Fourth quarter on ESPN Plus. Georgia Southern leading the 25th ranked James Madison Dukes 31-24 and trying to score again. From the 24, Van Treese was looking for White on the screen pass on 3rd and 9. Incomplete.
James Madison did a great job reading that play right there. I mean, you saw they're learning from their mistakes. They're learning from seeing these plays. Really good coverage, forcing incompletion right there.
So this will be a 41-yard field goal, or rather 46, for Alex Rayner. Kick is good. Eagles leading by 10. This has been a game for Georgia Southern where defense really picked up throughout this game, and defensive coordinator Will Harris has to be pleased with the way they've been playing. Emily Grace McWhorter has more.
In his actions, he is always preaching turnovers, and so far the Eagles have forced 3 this game. Back to you.
Thanks, EG. Not just 3 turnovers, but also special teams has played a big factor in this matchup as well, Cole.
Yeah, it's been a game where Georgia Southern's starting to play better in all 3 phases. So far in that third quarter, yeah, we had that one blunder to start the game off, but honestly, that third quarter right there, that was probably the most complete game or complete quarter I've seen from Georgia Southern so far this season.
One of the keys that Coach Harris spoke with us about for a win was creating turnovers, and the Eagles have done just that. They've also eliminated big plays from JMU in the second half. So now James Madison down 10. What's the message here if you're Coach Signetti to the Dukes?
Tell them, look, guys, we got to saddle up, all right? Don't worry about the noise. Don't worry about the rankings. That stuff's not important. Remember who we are. Remember what we did. You need to start playing how we practice. Practice is key. That's how we help. That's how it helps us win football games.
Ajay Obase, the carry, was tripped up a little bit in the back by Carrion Smith. Marquez Watson-Trent was also there too.
Been some great moments for Georgia Southern defensively. Yes, the run game has been something that's been kind of bullied Georgia Southern so far, but they've made some plays where they kept that run game to a short couple yards.
Ajay Obase absorbing contact. See if he gets the first down. He may be short. And he is. 3rd and 1. Hurry up offense for the Dukes. Ajay Obase finds a hole. 1st down and then some.
Keep leaning on that run game. That's what's been helping JMU out all season. You want to continue to lean on it. That's something that this offensive line has been doing so well today, is just running the football. I mean, they've been making guys miss all game so far, especially those running backs.
That time a short game, and Ajay Obase continuing to keep things going. I mean, the Eagles have had some trouble stopping the run throughout the season. And the Dukes, that's where, they're a balanced offense, so they've gotten the job done a little bit on both sides.
Be licking my chops right now if I'm if I'm JMU's offense. Just keep running the football. They haven't been able to really stop you all game.
This time Centeo drops back. Middle, caught. Thornton. And they're going to say it's incomplete.
Let's look at their replay right here. I don't know from this angle we'll be able to see it. Let's see. I don't know. That looks like a catch to me.
That looks like a catch indeed.
I think that's a catch. Someone needs to. That might need to be reviewed.
Thornton even shaking his head like, no, I caught that.
That's a catch. I think that is definitely a catch.
But will there be a challenge from JMU? There won't. Play clock at 3.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Took a moment.
Unless it bobbled when he hit the ground, but I think that was a catch.
I think the better question is, did the ball touch the ground when Thornton went down here?
I don't think it did. Looks like it was on his arm. Looks like it might have been on that left arm.
A crucial moment here in the 4th. The Dukes down 34-24. Really the first deficit for the Dukes in quite some time. They've had some great matchups and great games in their 5-0 start to the year. And you really saw the toughness from the Dukes against App State, was down 28-3 early and would fight their way back in that game, beating the Mountaineers 32-28.
Yeah, this is a group that knows how to fight. They don't give up. They don't lay down no matter what the circumstances are. You can tell that when they came into the FBS, they wanted to prove that they belong here, that they are a unique unit, that they can compete with anybody, doesn't matter who it is. And that's what they proved against App State. And that they can still prove that here. They're only down 10 points, 12 minutes and 49 seconds left. And if this is ruled a catch, which I'm thinking it should be, then they have a good chance to go ahead and start clawing their way back. Still a lot of time in this ball game.
Both coaches looking on. Kurt Signetti for JMU, Clay Helton for Georgia Southern. Another look here.
Yeah, it's going to be a catch.
I think we all kind of agree that it looked like a catch.
Yeah, they got to give it to JMU. That's a catch right there.
It really depends on, from any other angle, did the ball touch the ground?
I don't think it did. Again, I think that ball is landed right on Thornton's arm. I think that should be a catch. I'd be shocked if it is an incompletion. I will be shocked.
Gotta love the crowd here in Paulson.
Well, they're
Of an incomplete pass stands. Please reset the game clock to 13:06. 13:06 on the
It's
game
incomplete.
clock.
So the ball must have touched the ground as Thornton rolled up. Or rather, it was inconclusive evidence to turn the call over.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard, but, I mean, yeah, you got to call it how you see it because it's hard to see what happens, but I don't know. I think deep down that might have really been a catch, and, again, it was just inconclusive. That's hard to overrule, but, hey, this is crucial for JMU right here. They got to find a way to get a conversion right here on third down.
Centeo scrambling. Does he get the first down? A flag is on the play.
It's back there, I'm assuming, might be holding. Blocking the back, maybe.
Holding. Offense, number 52. 10-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Left tackle Tyshawn Wyatt called for holding.
You know, I'm not even mad at that. Just looking at where it happens right here. Oh, you got to get those hands inside, big man. Oh, you got to get those hands inside. Kind of secured in that chest plate. I understand it's a little bit of a questionable hold call, but you want to get those hands inside, lock them in the chest. That way it's easier, but if defender starts reaching back, officials are going to throw that every time.
This turns into 3rd and 18. Centeo throws far side. Thornton is there. It's another close call. Nonetheless, it'll be short of a first down. Incomplete.
Wow. That was a crucial third down right there. That was a crucial third down. Yep, ball definitely was incomplete. And here comes the punting unit with Georgia Southern having a chance now to get the ball and have some time to maybe milk the clock. But knowing that offense, they're going to throw the ball.
Sideline warning to the Eagles.
Where's the get back coach? That's what he's there for. You got to tell him, hey, yo, I understand. We're excited. Back him up. Got to have the get back coach somewhere.
Amari Jones deep to return again. Great punt by Sam Clark. Jones calling a fair catch. 12:22 to play in the fourth. Eagles leading by 10. Freedom having a good time in Paulson. Eagles back on offense when we return. Georgia Southern football is brought to you by Vintage Barbers. Kick back with us. By Vive Broadband, we're freeing up and speeding up the way you live it up. And by Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Eagles back on offense, a 10-point lead, 34-24. 12:22 to play in the fourth. It seems like the Eagles is a big second-half turnaround throughout the night, Cole.
That's football, though, Danny. I mean, all it takes is one momentum swing, and then everything starts clicking.
From the 17, Van Treese play action, going deep for Burgess. Caught. Was he inbounds? No.
I've been a heck of a catch if he had caught that, but, I mean, Van Treese got hit out as he was throwing. Ball was real close to the sideline. Still, heck of a catch, just not in bounds.
Incredible catch from Burgess. But he was out. Van Treese hand off to White. Cuts back in. Didn't get far. This is where you don't mind running the ball here because as long as it's taking time off the clock, that's all that matters.
That is true. And you know, like I told you before, I mean, you run the ball and you have these no gains and no gains. At some point, you're kind of staring down the barrel, third and long. Everybody knows what you're going to do. Like right here, it's third and medium, and everybody in the stadium knows they're going to throw the ball here.
Van Treese throws, caught, Hood to the 40, or rather, Singleton to the 40, or 39.
Good pocket. Looks like we got an injured Eagle on the field.
That was Singleton's 7th reception, rather 8th reception for 18 yards. Singleton has been highly effective, 108 yards receiving.
This incredible pocket. And like I said, Danny, they've been finding holes in the coverages. They've been finding some gaps. They've been able to make some plays happen. It's a nasty hit.
I think when Jordan Swan fell on Singleton, it may have shook him up a bit. Seems to be talking with the trainers. Nonetheless, an 18-yard reception from Singleton, giving the Eagles another first down. White, nowhere to go.
See, but I'm not upset about that run. That's a very well-timed run. Yes, it doesn't go anywhere, but it keeps the clock running. Because if you have an incompletion, then the clock stops, and that's helping out James Madison.
No gain. Caleb Hood on the jet sweep. Still on his feet, making a few men miss, gets across midfield.
It's a big play right there. JMU has to be more disciplined with their eyes. Seems like a couple of them got fooled in the box.
So right at the 50, fresh set of downs for the Eagles, approaching 10 minutes to go in regulation. Screen pass, Hood has blockers, pushes through, get the first down.
Maybe they need to have more double team blocks on these screen passes. I might like them a little bit more if that happens.
Had Jones and Burgess creating space. And with that, Kyle Van Treese now holds a single game record in Georgia Southern history for most yards. 422 yards in the air. And still going. Burgess pushing the helmet off of Chauncey Logan.
Come on.
Derwin Burgess, a sophomore, just no fear.
Young guy, he got a handful in his face.
They may go back. That's a flag. There is a flag on the play. Let's see who is on.
Young sophomore got a handful.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face on the runner. On the ball carrier, 15-yard penalty. Remains first down.
You have to appreciate the effort from Burgess, but at some point, you just got to take what you got.
He's trying to be a physical receiver, and I have no problem with physicality, but it has to be done right. That's not done right. That's just – I understand. You want to be physical. It's just not – that's not smart football. You got to know where you are on the field and the momentum that's going on. You don't want to ruin it.
Still a first down, though. White on the screen. He gets 8 up. Under 9 minutes left. Play action, Van Tree scrambles, lets it fly, out of bounds. This is the first time that the Dukes have given up over 400 yards in the air since 2015 against Richmond.
It's a long time to have that, but it's funny. They completely shut down the run game. JMU has shown that they're the #1 team in rushing defense. That has been proven tonight, in my opinion. They have to be better in the secondary against the pass. That's what's been hurting them really throughout the whole season. In that secondary, they got to compete a little bit better against these receivers. They got to win those one-on-ones.
3rd and long. Screen pass, Burgess. Gets inside the 40. They have gotten back to that initial line of scrimmage.
Good blocking outside. It would have been interesting had that been a first down play, but it was just one of those that you kind of didn't feel that happening. They just wanted to get back to that line of scrimmage to set something up. It looks like they're going to kick that punt, try to pin JMU within their 10.
Yeah, it would have been a 58-yard field goal try if the Eagles decide to go for it there, but rather back on a punt. He's done a good job putting the Dukes in tough field position.
Five-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
That's a penalty that the Eagles don't mind taking because it gives Beck more room. We already saw that early in the half.
I mean, it worked out well once. Try your luck twice. Could work out again.
Good punt from Beck. And a great bounce, putting James Madison inside the 5. Perfect shot from Anthony Beck. Let's see what the Dukes can do coming back after the break. 7:21 to play in regulation. It's 34-24. Georgia Southern over the 25th team in the nation. The running game for Georgia Southern has been non-existent, so they've relied on the passing game. And Kyle Van Tree setting another record for most passing yards in a game in Georgia Southern history.
You know one thing, Danny, hey, it's not against my Purple Paladins, so it's another purple team that will be a victim to the Eagles, and it's not mine.
And there's a chance that Van Tree could go for more. There's still a good bit of time left to go in this game, 7:21. I mean, Van Tree's 6 games in already broke the single season passing yards record held by one of the other quarterbacks for Georgia Southern, because Tracy Ham had that record at some point as well. Centeo from the 9, going deep, caught. Dorton to midfield. Don't count the Dukes out yet.
Hey, that was an explosive play. That's exactly what the Dukes needed. Get that momentum back going, pin deep into their territory, find a big play to happen, and here they are, moving the ball, doing exactly what they need to do to come back in this game.
Todd Centeo, he has 320 yards passing but 2 picks, but has gotten the job done on the ground with 3 rushing touchdowns. Going deep again, caught. This time, Reggie Brown on the completion.
JMU's doing a fantastic job moving the ball. They're throwing the ball well. They're getting back into stride. We said Todd Centeo had 320 yards passing. They're doing things right to come back in this football game.
Wasting no time, going to the end zone. Touchdown, Dukes! Reggie Brown.
It's just like that. 3 big plays in the air. Todd Centeo didn't have a touchdown all game until now. They're playing really good. They're playing confident again. They're trusting that arm of his. They trust the graduate quarterback.
First passing touchdown for Centeio tonight. 4th touchdown overall for the graduate transfer from Colorado State. 3 big plays, 91 yards, 57 seconds off the clock.
See, that JMU defense can carry this momentum over. They're going to need it.
Wide's good on the PAT, and it's a 3-point game with 6:24 to play. How will the Eagles answer? Well, we saw how the Dukes answered. A 28-yard dime from Centeio to Brown for Brown's 3rd touchdown on the season. More when we return on ESPN+. Georgia Southern football is brought to you by Dolan's Barbecue. Girls can Q too. By Uncle Shug's, good food, good service, and good times. And by Johnny Boy Cookies. It all started with Grandma's recipe. Well, this is the recipe for a great football game in Paulson Stadium. 34-31 Georgia Southern. As O.J. Arnold gets to the 24-yard line. How about the response from James Madison going 91 yards in 3 plays?
Hey, 57 seconds only came out the clock. That's the James Madison team we've seen so far throughout this season. That's what we saw early in the first quarter. They got to stay at that rhythm. They got to stay at that pace. They got to keep having big plays like that in order to take the lead back in this game. Now, right now, defense, they got to find a way to get a stop here.
First down, Van Trees throws, caught. Burgess at the 35.
And that's one thing we're not going to see the ball on the ground too often. I just don't think that's just where that game's going to be at. It's going to be in the air, so the game's going to stop at different moments for that first down.
Keep in mind the Eagles have all 3 of their timeouts. JMU with 2. Van Trees floats one to White. Still on his feet across midfield.
You know what, Danny? I think in a game like this, you're not really concerned about trying to stop the clock. I think you just want to score as many points as possible and make it difficult for anybody to come back on you.
We are watching something special from Kyle Van Trees, now 466 yards in the air. In Duke's territory from the 48. Van Trees going for it all, caught! Hood! Taken out near the 10.
I don't know what exactly happened in practice this past week, but Van Trees has been on fire with his connections with his receivers.
Get this, that puts him over 500 yards passing in tonight's game.
Wow, against a really talented defense. That it's been an amazing game from Van Trees.
In the red zone, slings one to the outside, Marcus Sanders Jr. down near the 7. Van Trees has to sling it quickly, got hit as he threw. Got ate up by Isaac Ukwu and Abi Nwabaku Okonji. A player down for the Eagles, that's Bo Johnson. he gets checked out by the trainers.
You know, Danny, it's been a great game so far, and it's just been something that it just continues to develop as this game goes on. It's just been so exciting.
An injury timeout, and we'll take one with them. 4:03 left to play, 34-31 Eagles. The power of Paulson is alive and well. Trying to pull the Eagles to hang on to this lead and possibly add one more score to potentially close it out in what has been a career night for quarterback Kyle Van Treese. Out of the injury timeout, Bo Johnson was able to walk off on his own. And as soon as we come back, I believe a timeout was called. James Madison going to use their second timeout. They're still going to talk things over. So while we have a break in the action, Cole, I mean, magnificent night for Kyle Van Treese. Last week, threw 4 interceptions against Georgia State, really cleaned things up, and then some. Single season passing record in Georgia Southern with 508 yards.
Talking about an impressive night, an impressive bounce back too. Yeah, he threw those 4 picks. 2 were definitely on him. 2 were just kind of freak circumstances. But in any other team, a guy would be down about that. You see those 4 turnovers. He just said, you know what, it is what it is. I'm going to put my helmet on. We're just going to go out and practice. We're going to get better. And that's exactly what Van Treese has done.
And Van Treese's targets, Amari Jones, Caleb Hood, and Jeremy Singleton, all with 7 catches. Jones with 164 yards, Hood 117, Singleton 108.
3 main receivers, all over 100 yards.
Third and goal from the 7. Fakes the toss, rolls to his right, throws to the end zone, incomplete. A great stop from the Dukes defense.
That's exactly what the Dukes needed right there. They're going to force a field goal to happen. Georgia Southern, they know they don't want to go ahead and try to force it on fourth down and try to get in the end zone. They feel confident in their defense that they could get a stop. But I don't know, after watching what James Madison just did in 3 plays, I know defense coordinator Will Harris has to be telling his guys, we cannot prevent big plays from happening. We got to contain.
From the right hash, from 24 yards, Alex Rayner connects. 37-31 Eagles. .353 left to go. The Dukes get the ball back. You talked about it a little bit, Cole, about 4-minute drill, the 4-minute offense. What do you want to see from James Madison?
I kind of want to see some urgency. They actually got to have some urgency here. You saw those 3 plays they had in their previous series that got them a touchdown, and in a short amount of time, they didn't even take a lot of time off the clock. They got to have something similar to that on this series. They score a touchdown right here, get an extra point. They're up 38-37. They need to do that in order to catch this lead back and keep their ranking. But I know that's not even important right now. They just need to do those few things to just execute on offense.
The Eagles defense, 3 turnovers. Will Harris has to be pleased, but how can the Eagles close it out?
Main thing is you got to find a way to get another turnover. You got to be able to figure out how to make Todd Centeio just kind of choke under the pressure. But we know Centeio, we've seen what he's done over time. He's used to the pressure. He can handle it. He can rise to the challenge.
Michael Land sends this ball to the 4. Sammy Maglidaggi calling for a fair catch. So the Dukes will take it from the 25. The Eagles have been undefeated at home this season. They have played in close games that's gone down to the wire the last 2 weeks. Coach Helton said he told his team, just get us to the 4th quarter. It's about 5 minutes to go in a favorable position to win, and we'll pull it out. Can the Eagles do that with 3:53 left to go in regulation?
Georgia Southern's they've been a play away those 3 games that they lost. We'll see if that will be the case.
Four-man rush. Centeo rolling right. Will run out of bounds.
JMU receivers, they got to win those one-on-ones, get open. Got to help Todd Centeo out. See, Georgia Southern's finally put in a little spy to kind of keeping tabs on Centeo, not let him run free. Receivers have to win those one-on-ones if they want to get the chains rolling.
Centeo on second down, going deep. Intercepted! Anthony Wilson on the tip. Second career interception, and that could seal the deal.
That's a huge play right there for that defense. Now, the key thing is for Georgia Southern, this is the time where you might want to go 4-minute offense right here. Drain the clock down. You have the lead. You have the ball. But you got to be able to open up some holes for the run game if you want to run that 4-minute offense to fruition.
The Dukes still have one timeout. However, all the Eagles need to do is just run the clock out. And how about Anthony Wilson? Second career pick, first on the season. And you see the record for the Eagles when scoring 30 or more, 240-20.
Hey, you see, the numbers speak for themselves at this point. But again, 3 minutes and 24 seconds, anything can happen. Could be a bad snap, could be a turnover, could be a fumble. You just never know in this beautiful game that we all love. So anything can happen. So looking at the replay right here, just to make sure that, that's going to get overturned.
Oh, okay, that's going to change. That could change.
Yeah, that's going to get overturned.
Oh, wow.
That will definitely get overturned.
So the Dukes caught a break.
They definitely did.
We need to make sure that the ruling will be overturned first, but that's pretty clear evidence.
The catch was incomplete. It'll be third down at the 26-yard line.
So it's just an incomplete pass. That would have been Centeo's third interception on the night. So the Dukes are still alive.
It's like one of those moments where you feel your heart getting ready to beat out your chest, your stomach kind of sinks. And then when you hear some good news, you just take that deep breath and you just blow your air out, and you're just like, oh, okay.
I know the Georgia Southern fans are unhappy with the reversal, but there is clear evidence. But it's third down. Centeo going deep again for Thornton. Incomplete. Derek Canteen, DB1. Great deflection.
Canteen Island. Take a cruise there. You can take a boat. Doesn't matter what you take. You don't want to be shipwrecked.
That was off of his helmet.
Hey, Canteen was out of phase, came back in and made a play on the ball. And that's all he could do. And that was a really good deflection right there. And James Madison, they know what they got to do. They cannot afford to punt this ball. They are going to go for it.
Play clock at 1. And JMU got their final timeout off in time. .317 left. This may be the Dukes' final chance. Centeo, you can definitely tell he's been going deep downfield, but on fourth down, he just got to get the first.
All you got to do is get the first down, like you said, Danny. So I'm expecting here, if it's not there, they're going to try to throw the ball. If it's not there, just bring the ball down and try to get that first down. If not, what we haven't seen in a while, we haven't seen any of those quarterback draws that we saw so early in this game. That could come back around as a shock.
Centeio has gotten the job done on the ground. 12 carries, 44 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's going to be 4th and 9 from the Dukes, 26.
You want to play future, you got to be in business.
Centeio throws, caught, Dorton. The drive still alive for the Dukes.
And Thornton got off the island, found a way, made a play. And
Hurry up offense from JMU. No timeouts to go, 3 minutes to play. Centeio looking deep. Caught again. But was Brown in? No, incomplete.
Crucial incompletion. Yep, crucial incompletion right there. Gives Georgia Southern's defense a second to catch their breaths, gather themselves, bring themselves back in. Now JMU planning on what the next strike is going to be.
Clock at 1. Centeio throws, finds Ravenel. Short of the first down. Centeio on 3rd and 3, caught! Terrence Green to the 25.
Left side of the field got a little bit lackadaisical over there. They kind of daydreamed.
The Eagles will call their first timeout of the half. They need to regroup and talk things over. How about Todd Centeio leading the Dukes downfield?
Hey, Todd Centeio, he's a veteran quarterback. He's seen action like this before. We know he came back against App State. He did that earlier this year. This is probably nothing else to him. It's just another moment to show that he is that guy. He is him. He wants to show that and prove that.
It's a big moment for the Dukes because a touchdown ties at a PAT puts the Dukes ahead. They can't go for a field goal. You see the numbers for Centeio. He's having a game. Fresh off of being named Offensive Player of the Week in the Sun Belt after his performance against Arkansas State. 419 yards. But those 2 interceptions has really been the difference maker throughout the night.
I mean, you got one guy that throws for over 500 yards. You got another guy throwing over 400 yards. I mean, you already got over 900 yards of just yards in the air today. So, I mean, it's just been a heck of a game by those 2 quarterbacks. Take away those turnovers. They're playing some exciting, really fundamental football.
Centeio, quick throw, Green. Across the 10, bounces out, touchdown Dukes. Wow. Centeio, his second touchdown pass to Terrence Green. And the Dukes are a PAT away from taking the lead.
Wow. I mean, I don't think you can ask for anything better than a back-and-forth game between 2 teams that are very talented on offense.
PAT is good. James Madison, 38-37 over the Eagles with 2:28 to go. Todd Centeio saying, I am him. Takes the Dukes down the field, 8 plays and 75 yards. And a 25-yard look to Terrence Green for his second touchdown on the year. What a night in Statesboro, partner.
I don't think you can ask for anything better. It's been like I told you, Danny, this is one of those days. You mess around, you're going to find out. We've seen some teams find out today.
So now it's all on Georgia Southern. The Eagles have 2 timeouts, JMU out of timeouts, and all the Eagles need is a field goal to get back ahead. This could be the final drive of the night.
It could be, but this is going to be a point where it's going to be Georgia Southern's offensive line versus that JMU front 7 that have been so good all year. It's going to be on their backs.
Arnold will let that one sail in the end zone. So the Eagles will need to go 75 yards for a touchdown, or they just need to get 40 or 50 yards to get in good field goal position.
Not gonna lie to you, Danny. I don't want to put the game in the kicker's hands. That's just me being a former player. I hate putting the game in the kicker's hands. There's nothing wrong with kickers. I just don't like that feeling.
Right now, it's in the hands of the Ginger General, Kyle Van Treese.
Pressure.
4-man rush for the Dukes. Van Treese fires, caught at the 40 to Marcus Sanders.
Van Treese doing a good job finding those coverage beaters.
15-yard gain. Sanders again out of his hands.
Intended for Marcus Sanders Jr. Second down, 10 yards to go from the 40-yard line.
.205 to play. It's going to be a free play. They're going to blow it dead. Likely will be offsides on the Dukes. Jamari Edwards crossing the plane.
Offside. Defense, number 5, coming across the line of scrimmage, unabated. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
A little bit of a break for Georgia Southern right there. Free 5 yards. See what they can do with that.
From the 45. Van Treese going deep. Incomplete. Was looking for Jones and Jarius Rumanek. There on the deflection.
We're in some crucial territory now. This is a huge third down. This can make or break Georgia Southern's chances of winning this game. They convert or if they don't convert.
Van Treese throws near side, has Sanders, first down.
Georgia Southern's just finding ways to get the ball in the different guys' hands. They're finding ways to get first downs, and they're doing a lot of things right in the passing game so far.
See Alex Rayner getting prepared if his number will be called. Van Treese going deep, looking for Jones. Incomplete. Rumanek again.
Definitely one of those games that just kind of make your legs go a little bit weak. You're just so excited. You don't know what's going to happen. You just feel the adrenaline. You feel the intensity from here. It's just amazing watching these two teams battle.
Second down, Van Treese overthrows Caleb Hood.
intended for Caleb Hood is incomplete. It'll be third down and 10 yards to go from the 47-yard line.
And here we are again, another crucial third down. Obviously, 2-down territory, even if they don't get the first down right here, if they don't turn it over.
Third and 10. Plenty of time for Van Treese. Fires, caught by Sanders. Is he in?
Pass is incomplete.
No.
Intended for Marcus Sanders Jr.
Fourth down for the Eagles.
Fourth down and 10 yards to go from the 47-yard line.
Yep. There we go. This is it. This is the game. Potentially. Yep, no, this is the game.
Can the Eagles keep the drive alive? Heavy rush. Hood the catch. Gets the first down. Still on his feet, fighting for more yards. Gets to the 32.
Maybe Paulson Stadium might have a little bit of magic. Man, juggled the ball for a second, secured it.
Time is ticking. Quick throw, Burgess. Bounces out. And another first down for the Eagles. Clock stops at 1:15.
They are in rhythm right now. Burgess fights, gets the first down. They've been just going and going. It's been more and more exciting as this game's going on, as you cut it down to the wire.
More importantly, the Eagles in field goal range. From the 22. Van Treese, end zone, touchdown! Burgess! A flag is on the play.
If this isn't called back, which I don't think it will be, wow. Just wow. You can see how resilient this Georgia Southern team is. But it looks like, see guys kind of going back to the refs. But man, if that stands, that's incredible. Let's look at the replay here. All the time in the world. And then they're going to try to say holding on the defender or push off. So we'll find out in a second what they're looking at.
There's a live ball and a dead ball foul. The result of the play is a touchdown. Pass interference, defense, number 2. That penalty is declined. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 2. That penalty would be enforced 15 yards on the kickoff, first down.
So it is a touchdown for the Eagles. Pass interference on Chauncey Logan, but after unsportsmanlike conduct, I can't even get my words out.
That excited,
Unsportsmanlike conduct from Burgess. That'll be enforced on the kick.
And they're going to go for 2 because they know exactly what can happen in 3 plays. They've already seen it once. They want to make sure they can pad a lead.
Van Treese rolling right, going for 2. He's going to keep. Ball is knocked loose. And the Dukes have it, but another flag is thrown.
2-point conversion is no good. There is a flag on the play.
Uh-oh, there's another one.
Offensive coordinator Brian Ellis looking on for the Eagles. The Eagles offense staying on the field.
Hope he has another 2-point play and kind of in the back of the playbook that he's been holding on. Because I personally didn't like the rollout, and then it wasn't open. Van Treese tries to tuck it and get the first down. He's not a dual threat quarterback like Centeio, where he can take a hit and hold on to the ball. He saw that fumble. So I'm curious to see what offensive coordinator Brian Ellis draws up.
Play. Holding.
Number 7 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal as well. Replay the try.
So you had holding on Jordan Swan and unsportsmanlike conduct on Jarius Romanek.
A whole bunch of somethings. Yep, there's the holding.
There's the hold.
Gotta get Van Treese's grip strength up a little bit. As soon as he got hit trying to reach it out, that ball went flying.
Well, more importantly, the Eagles will try for 2 again. This time from the 1.
Not gonna lie to you, Danny, moments like these kind of miss having that triple option offense.
Van Treese under center. And a whistle just before the snap.
The previous play is under further review for enforcement.
And now they're going to review the previous play.
Huh?
We will wait to see what happens, I guess, to see what they're looking for.
I'm really curious to know what they're going to look for here, Danny. The unsportsmanlike conduct, I mean, it happened right in front of you, so I doubt they'll review that. And they already declined the holding penalty, so I don't know.
Coach Helton's confused, and we're confused as well, partner.
Whole bunch of confusion going on.
I mean, both. They will replay the try. I think they're trying to check if the unsportsmanlike conduct is going to happen. Now, initially, and I think you saw Romanek there at the end. So this is, I think they're going to place the ball inside the 1. They're checking to see where the ball needs to be placed.
And from the looks of it, looked like they wanted to go quarterback sneak. Maybe. That might be.
You never see Van Treese under center like that. He'll line up under center again.
Pulled a guy in motion, but same play. Stretch.
Jalen White is in. 45-38, Eagles with 1:10 remaining. But it's not over yet. That's still plenty of time for James Madison.
Anything can happen. Now, credit to Georgia Southern's coaching staff. Going for the 2-point play here. They know exactly they needed to get that just in case JMU scores in 3 plays. They go under center. They just run typical stretch. And the hole about as big for a trailer truck opens up. I'm not going to lie to you, Danny. I kind of want to see Georgia Southern run more under center, just the way that looked. I understand it's a 2-point play, but still, just the way everything looked. Shoot, I'm them, I might call that more often in that formation.
The Eagles have only ran for 13 yards tonight, but all it took was half a yard for a crucial 2-point conversion. It has all been done in the air for Kyle Van Treese. 578 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and found Derwin Burgess Jr. for a 22-yard catch in the end zone.
Know one thing, Van Treese definitely did something today. He definitely kind of shut up all the naysayers saying that, y'all, we can't win with Kyle Van Treese, 4 picks. I think he may have shut those people up today because he's been playing phenomenal. 578 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. His rating so far is about a 153. I don't think you can ask for a better night from Kyle Van Treese.
You couldn't ask for a better night between both quarterbacks. I mean, Todd Centeio going to go out there one more time. He has 444 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Inside the 20. As Q Reed on the return gets to about the 37.
This is crucial. So you know what's going to come here. It's going to be shots. That's exactly what James Madison needs to do. Shots, shots, shots. And I'm not talking about the LMFAO song. But they want to be able to create some big plays here. They want to be able to get out of bounds when they can. They need to stop the clock. No timeouts left.
1:02 remaining. Centeio to the middle. Incomplete.
And Centeio took a shot on that pass. Ball got tipped, and the defender's a little bit closer to that. Could have been intercepted, and that definitely would have been the game.
Centeio rolling right, slings it, has a J. Obase, gets to the 46. The Dukes have to be quick, no timeouts, clock still winding down.
Got to get set, got to get set.
Centeio towards the middle, caught to Green. Across midfield to the 37. In Eagles territory. Called to 38. Timeout Eagles.
Timeout, Georgia Southern. That's their second charge timeout.
Solid timeout right here. I mean,
30-second
got to
timeout.
get your defense regrouped. Got to get them settled in. Everyone knows exactly what's at stake right now. But you got to admit, Danny, today's been crazy. I mean, not just this game. I mean, when you look at around the conference, Coastal loss. That was a big game to lose to Old Dominion. And now everybody has a shot now to win in this conference.
James Madison, the only unbeaten team left in the Sun Belt, was one of 15 unbeatens entering the day. We have seen some upsets throughout the night. You mentioned Coastal Carolina and Georgia Southern fighting so hard to win their first game in conference play. 24 seconds left. At the Eagles, 38. Can James Madison send this game to overtime? Centeio picked off! Anthony Wilson! And that's the game! The Eagles are going to upset the 25th ranked team in the nation.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, that was a classic football game from start to finish. Just an incredible game. You look at the replay, you see the stunt coming in over the middle, and Centeo's forced to throw a ball that just, it wasn't there. Wilson makes a heck of a play on the ball, interception, and now Kyle Van Treese, all he has to do is knee it out. Victory formation is on its way.
Anthony Wilson, the redshirt junior from Columbia, South Carolina. The power of Paulson is indeed real.
Danny, what I tell you, you mess around, you're going to find out. And the correlation for it was high. JMU didn't mess around today, and they found out. But credit to that team, though. They came in strong. They just weren't able to sustain throughout the game. But they had some really good moments. They ran the ball so well. It's just those turnovers hurt them, and they were crucial in this football game.
Credit to the Eagles. 13 yards on the ground. It was all up to Kyle Van Treese. 578 yards passing. A new Georgia Southern single-game passing record. And the Eagles have taken down the undefeated Dukes. It is pandemonium in Paulson. Emily Grace is standing by with Kyle Van Treese.
Kyle, it's a little crazy on the field. You broke the single-season passing record, with 578 yards. What does this game mean to you?
This game means everything, and it's not just me. It's this. Look, I mean, turn around and look. This is why we play. We play for these fans. We play for our families. We play for this university. Everything that we put, all the work that we put in on the field, in the film room, it's coming to fruition. This team, I couldn't be more proud of all these guys.
To be a top 25, the top 25 team in the nation in Paulson, what does that do for the second half of the season for the Eagles?
It flips the script for us, being able to finish games. That's what we've been focusing on, putting a full game together. Defense played great. Special teams played great. Offensive played great. Offensive line did great. They protected me all game. No sacks again. I mean, I couldn't be more proud.
Kyle, thank you. Go enjoy it.
Thank you.
What a night in Statesboro. The Ginger General, Kyle Van Treese, 578 yards and 4 touchdowns, sends the Eagles with a 45-38 win over the 25th-ranked James Madison Dukes. They win their first game in the Sun Belt Conference under Clay Helton. So for Cole Neely and Emily Grace McWhorter, I'm Danny Wall saying so long from Paulson. Final score, Georgia Southern 45, James Madison 38. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.